I gotta be petty. I gotta be petty. What up, Wolf? What up, Fade Runner? What up, Big Richie Lizzie? They call me the PP Man. Fornal. What's up, Fornal? What up, Big Eights? All right. All the cool streams end up streaming at the same time. This is what I keep hearing. I might switch up my schedule in the near future, depending on how things play out. Tabs on tabs on tabs. Well, don't worry. This is going to be a quick one. This is going to be some more anti-police propaganda for y'all. I know you guys love when I do that. It's the main point of my channel. Anyway. You know, I see you guys liking the tweet. I had to be petty. Who's in my message? Why are all these bots in my message requests? Okay. Mr. Tom Petty. That's funny. UD just went live? Of course. Where the fuck did these messages go so I can get these damn links? Shout out to DC Metal Chris. There they go. Oh my god, I forgot. This is a Twitter thread. Oh, there's 2 Twitter threads. So we gotta look at these last because I'm going to get distracted by notifications because I haven't looked at Twitter all day. Master Goosey. What up, Austin? A-Cab. Ancom Psycom. What's up? Selassie. All right. ALAP. Okay. Got the links ready. Got everything ready. The question is, are you all ready? All ladies are perverts. I should hope not. The Electric Frontier Foundation. I thought about doing a fundraiser for them, honestly, but Let me get rid of these other links over here. Let's throw a loop on before I get reading this stuff. All right. Thank you, Nightbot. All right. MxVivianWulf. That's a lot of other band channels, but what's up? How you feeling? A-cab. Alright, use guys. We got a Southern Poverty Law Center link to read for you, and we got a Electric Frontier Foundation link to read for you. This music is a deep cut. Lots of food, nice. This music is actually a deep cut. This is from Turok 2, Seeds of Evil, on the Game Boy Color. If you were not old enough to remember or own a Game Boy Color, that's cool. This is Twitch. But let's get into it though. Assuming I don't just have immediately have the wrong monitor queued up, which is probably what's about to happen. We'll see though. Oh, geez, for once it's actually on there. Cool. Alright. So, this is from the SPLC from 2 days ago. I wanted to read this Monday night, but got sidetracked, obviously. Turok Desert Wonder, the N64 was cool too. You worked third shift at Toys R Us when the Game Boy Color came out. Oh my goodness. You are a wizard. What up, Globus? Alright, here we go. The Omaha Police Department in Nebraska plans to trade tens of thousands of dollars worth of expired helmets and bulletproof gear for roughly $3,000 worth of firearm equipment in a deal with a local tactical shop that has hosted international far-right politicians and an anti-Muslim speaker. That sounds fun. Here comes the loop everybody loves. What up, UD? Right on. Cool. A wizard who doesn't look a day over 105? I'm sure. Hate Watch obtained emails surrounding the deal, which the city council tabled on July 18th amid public scrutiny through a public information request. This track reminds you of GoldenEye. This is actually the combat simulator loop from Perfect Dark, so you were close. It's the spiritual sequel to GoldenEye. Typical. I love Perfect Dark. It's one of my favorite games. Are you trying to meme? Are you in my Discord right now? Oh, I thought. Okay, never mind. I'm reading a little bit of news. I'm doing what my channel was originally fucking designed to do. I figured I would get back to doing what I was supposed to be doing from the start before I started fuck around with all these goofy ass people. You know what I mean? I figured I'd get back to the old school Endless Cemetery for a minute. Do real Endless Cemetery things. The bottle is real though, for sure. I'm doing just fine, yeah. My birthday is in 5 minutes, and then I'm doing the marathon stream tomorrow. So I figured I'd get the serious stuff out of the way tonight before, because I know tomorrow is going to be chock full of memes. Thank you. The skin on the roof of my mouth is almost completely healed. There's like a little tiny patch that I keep messing with my tongue. It would probably heal if I stopped messing with it, but I can't. The Reels 25, what up? You were kind of expecting to see me running from cops during a protest midstream the first time we told. So like I don't think so. I still don't consider myself. Hey, Lady Rain Cloud, welcome back. But also, my first. Why do I say abolish the police? Because the police are murderers, rapists, thieves, racists. And yeah, I don't want my tax money contributing to that when it could go towards after-school programs, infrastructure, and lots of other things that the community actually needs. But my first, I guess, political streams were actually me running from the police in protests. I don't consider myself an activist, but I did do protest streams in 2020. Sunsol needs to get a job. His views have been tanking. It's not surprising that he's been going so hard with me, but refuses to actually speak to me because I've been beating him in views for the last week, and I'm probably going to continue to do so, at least until he pays Samantha Banana to get some more bots for him. Yeah, Sunsol needs to get a job. Seems like, just passively watching, a lot of these streamers have been struggling a little bit lately. A lot of them have been getting jobs lately. Can't possibly be because people are getting tired of the debate bro bullshit, could it? There are only a few out of a lot of cops. Not all cops are bad. It's not the specific individual cops, it's the institution in general. Reels 25. If you stick around, we'll talk a little bit more about that, and there are lots of people in here who could educate you about the institution of the police, why the police were invented, and what it is they actually do from the day to day, and how they function in society. Stick around, you might learn a few things. Also, just to hook you. I had to take my vitamins, sorry. Just to hook you. Everybody talks about how there's just a few bad apples. But nobody ever wants to finish that euphemism. A few bad apples do what to the bunch? Hate Watch obtained emails surrounding the deal, which the City Council tabled on July 18th amid public scrutiny through a public information request. The emails shed light on OPD's relationships with far-right business owners who have ties to law enforcement. Nebraska activists tell Hate Watch they fear the swap between OPD and 88 Tactical. Oh my god. We're going to get into 88 Tactical tonight. But just know that 88 is very intentional in 88 Tactical. So everyone's aware, we're talking about the Omaha Police Department doing a deal for about $3,000 worth of firearm equipment and stuff with 88 Tactical. ACAB all day. All right. Nebraska activists, well, I guess if I just read the article, it'll actually explain why 88 Tactical are bad. But before I do that, this loop is about to end. So let me just open Fruity Loops. Which loop you guys want? Do you want that first loop you heard, or you want the combat simulator loop that's always on? Pick. Hurry. Or I'm going to pick for you. 10 seconds. Perfect Dark or Turok? Perfect Dark. We got one vote for Perfect Dark. Turok. Turok was the first one. The second one was Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark going once. Turok. Uh-oh. So we got a split. 50-50. Turok. 2 votes for Turok. Turok winning. 3 for Turok. Okay. Let's do Turok then. Uh-oh. Do I not have... Where did I put that loop? Uh-oh. Okay, here we go. Oh, no. How's the volume on that? Good? I'll turn it down just a smidge more. Volume's good there? All right. And just to remind everyone, I am a musician. I don't know why I said it like that, but I'm a musician. Sorry, I'm just gonna play. I don't like this version of the. I forgot I did this to this song. If you didn't notice, I was a little bit hesitant when I first started playing it, and that was why, because I wasn't sure what version of it that was. As your typical musician, I never fucking think any songs are complete. No, this is not the theme to Knight Rider. This is the... So I cover video game music with my project Nightmare Difficulty. You can find me at soundcloud.com/Nightmare Difficulty. This is track... This is the EDM... This is the BGM from the second level of Turok 2 Seeds of Evil for the Game Boy Color. I just redid it in 3 loops. So let's keep going. Nebraska activists tell Hate Watch they fear the swap between OPD and 88 Tactical, a large gun range and store on the outskirts of Omaha where civilians as well as law enforcement and military personnel train, is evidence of police willingness to work with organizations that have ties to the far right. Hate Watch attempted to contact 88 Tactical for comment on this article, but they did not respond. However, 88 Tactical founder and former law enforcement officer Shay Dagan released a video after Hate Watch sent the request for comment, saying his business is not racist. Dagan decried bullies who hate the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, and cops. Naturally. OPD and 88 Tactical agreed that police would give 88 Tactical 28 expired ballistic helmets and 28 expired rifle plates, a value of roughly $45,000 if purchased new, in exchange for 120 Coyote AR magazines, 60 Glock 17 magazines, and 30 Orange Glock magazine base plates, all worth about $3,100. Melody Vaccaro, executive director of grassroots nonprofit Nebraskans Against Gun Violence, told Hate Watch she and other Nebraskans were immediately concerned about the trade given 88 Tactical's history of bringing an anti-Muslim speaker to Nebraska. Hate Watch first covered 88 Tactical in 2017 when it and the Anti-Muslim Global Faith Institute invited anti-Muslim ex-FBI agent and author John Guandolo. That is a fucking made-up name. That is a made-up fucking name. That is that's a video game antagonist name. That is a made up name. And this dude was an ex FBI agent. There is no fucking way that's his real name. John Guandolo, who bills himself as a national security consultant to Nebraska. The Global Faith Institute is an organization that pushes unfounded conspiracy theories about the alleged threat Muslims pose to the U.S. Similarly, Guandolo has authored several books about the supposed threat to America posed by Sharia law and warning of a jihadi generation. Yeah, that guy sounds like he's definitely on the ball there. He knows exactly what he's talking about. 88 Tactical has also hosted former President Donald Trump's son, Donald Jr., and Carlos and Eduardo Bolsonaro, the sons of far-right Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro. I don't care if that's how you pronounce it. Fuck that guy. Both are far-right politicians in Brazil who push anti-leftist conspiracies, naturally. These idiots don't even know what Sharia is? Of course not. It doesn't matter, though. Just like the people pretending like they don't know what I'm talking. People calling me anti-race mixing, even though I've never used the term race mixing in any of my fucking streams. I actually really fucking hate the phrase race mixing because it's really fucking racist, but... The emails between OPD and 88 Tactical detail the deal's origin. OPD Lieutenant Jacob Britannia emailed 88 Tactical founder Dagan with details of the swap on May 18, 2022 at 12:40 p.m. Central District Time. I don't know what the D is. I'm fucking stupid. I see no reason why we Dagan said, I see no reason why I wouldn't do this deal with you guys as it benefits everyone. As always, I appreciate you thinking of his brother. Britannia responds, thanks so much for the consideration. We appreciate everything 88 Tactical has done for OPD SWAT. Have a great night. Central Daylight Time, thank you. What up, Kropo? OPD spokesperson Lieutenant Neil Bonacci told Hate Watch the emails characterize a strictly professional relationship between OPD and 88 Tactical, similar to many of our relationships with other businesses in our city. Bonacci also said he was unaware of any relationship between 88 Tactical and any far-right or anti-Muslim groups or individuals, he added. If we were aware of said relationships, we would not do business with them. That just reminds me, okay, just a quick anecdote. Way back when I was a teenager, when I was like 18, a friend of mine decided to go into the Navy. He was graduating from Navy boot camp. So another good friend of mine, Fade Runner's stepbrother actually, we drove all the way out to Chicago to see him off from Navy graduation, from boot graduation. And obviously the boot graduation was just one day, but we were out there for like 3 or 4 days. But we were only 18. And we couldn't really play Hey Mister out there or anything like that because it was really late and whatever. We found this random liquor store and my friend would just walk in, grab the booze, pay for it, and walk out. Did it twice, right? On the very last night, the night that's our last night in Chicago before we go back home to Baltimore, he's getting us a few 40s to bring back to the hotel room and everything. And the guy behind the counter is like, hey, you're 21, aren't you? And my friend goes, of course I'm 21. I wouldn't be in here buying alcohol if I wasn't 21, would I? Never even cards him. It's just, it's funny to me. What up, Mara? Hate Watch sent Bonacci reports on 88 Tactical working with the Global Faith Institute. Bonacci did not respond by publication time. NAGV and local activists have also accused Tactical 88 of including Nazi messaging in its branding, something the company adamantly rejects. NAGV called 88 Tactical a gun business with disturbing Nazi branding, which they absolutely have, in its press release about the swap. It noted that 88 is a code used by neo-Nazis for Heil Hitler, the Nazi salute. For those who don't know, H is the 8th letter of the alphabet, 88, Heil Honkler, all that good stuff, whatever. Yeah, Frackle, yeah, exactly. 80. But see, this is the type of dog whistle shit. This is the shit you're not going to get from fucking asking Richard Spencer what his favorite tiki torch is. right? This is shit you only learn when you actually decide to put in the work and do the research. Your average person doesn't know what 88 or 1488 means, right? The only reason a lot of these dipshits on Twitch poll know what the 14 words are is because they've had people fucking quoting it to them in fucking debates, whole T. And that's even assuming that the me saying it on Twitter wasn't the first time they'd seen it, right? Eights can sometimes be innocent. Very true. Very, very true. The number 8 is actually, I want to say number 8's good luck in China as well. They're super into numerology. Happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you. Dagan has regularly denied this accusation. Dagan says the 88 references the Nebraska Police Code for Situations Secure, a code familiar to him as a former law enforcement officer and to others in the state. Vaccaro said, it's not a mystery to him that people conclude that 88 is a Nazi reference, even if he thinks it's unfair and it isn't a white supremacist reference. That rings hollow by how insistent he is on its continued use. And the same thing goes for a lot of these other neo-Nazis. Hey, thank you. Thank you for the happy birthdays. I went through the same thing with the Wolves of Vinland, right? Where they were playing dumb. They were playing dumb. We don't care if Nazis use all this pagan imagery. We're still going to continue to use it. Right? Up to the point where you inform them that there are Nazis in their organization who intentionally use that and use their excuses as a shield for that. And they're like, well, I don't care. They think it's too on the nose to be a dog whistle. Like I said, your average person doesn't know what 88 is. Especially not your average, like dumbass, like Tucker Carlson, like Trump voter. Some of them are deep into this shit, but I feel like the number 88 is a little too esoteric for a lot of people. Let me start these loops over again. Is there a way I could just put this shit on repeat on SoundCloud? Whatever. Anyway. Esoteric. Did I use that word correctly? Ah, I did. Okay. Regardless of Dagan's intentions in selecting the name, neo-Nazis have noticed the name. In 2012, 88 Tactical offered training courses about living out of a bunker, learning how to survive and neutralize opposing forces. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Just bad luck on your part. 88 is actually pretty fucking cool. It sucks that Nazis fucked up the number 88. Is that why your name is Big Eights? Because your hockey jersey number is 88? Because that's pretty fucking cool if so. Anyway, which it called the Aftermath series. The courses appealed to the conspiracy-laden Doomsday Prepper movement. Dagan appeared on the Discovery Channel's Doomsday Bunkers that year. The episode featured the training. And you're a large boy? I feel it. I'm like a medium large size boy. I actually weighed myself today. I'm back down to 205. Dog whistles are able to hide in plain sight, specifically because there are legitimate innocent uses of them. Frackle is 1000% correct, as usual. Neo-Nazis on Stormfront noted in a 2012 thread the 88 and that everyone he was training was white. The neo-Nazis later discussed the meaning of 88 in Nebraska Police Code. They're usually packaged alongside other things that tip off other fascists. Well, don't spoil it, Frackle. I don't know if you've read the rest of this or if you're reading the rest of this right now. Don't spoil it. Another screenshot of the inside of 88 Tactical's shooting range shows an elevation map with the highest point at an elevation of 1488 feet. Upset Walrus, thank you for the follow. But according to Peak Bagger, a website that tracks elevations, Omaha's highest point is around 1270 feet. What up, Hydroponica? I feel that, Big AIDS. I feel your pain. I was having this conversation with Of Hogs and Men about how Nazis steal all the awesome imagery. Like, they stole Vikings, they stole, like, a lot of, like, Indian fucking shits. Like, they just are cannibals of other people's culture. Pyro Tyrant, what's up? Frequently linked to white supremacy, the numerical combination 1488 combines code for Heil Hitler and the 14 words, a white nationalist saying that extremist David Lane coined. The 14 words refers to securing a future for white children. After locals pointed out, yo, MxVivianWulf, thank you for the follow. I was not expecting that. Thank you. I appreciate your support. I really enjoy your work. Hope you're staying safe out there on Turf Island. Brits in chat? Oi, bruv. All the based folks in chat, I'm so glad that my community is becoming so incredibly based. Like, I was kind of worried for a while, especially having to weather the storm of, you know, all those fucking Dylan Burns nerds fucking spamming my videos about black people getting killed by police with snake emojis and fucking all the hate raids I was getting from like Zoni and Sansol and them. I was really worried that my chat was like my shit was gonna be fucked up for a while, but it's cool that everything is good, and I appreciate all the support and all the love from everyone. Here comes that doom loop for you. So y'all know each other. I love it when people come into my chat and you guys talk amongst each other. It makes me feel really good. It makes me feel like I have like a little ecosystem. It's like when you see spiders in your garden. You know what I mean? I love to see chatters chatting with each other. Speaking of that, I have a fucking huge black and yellow orb weaver in our pumpkin patch in the front yard right now. It's really fucking cool. I might post pictures of it on Twitter tomorrow for my birthday because I'm really proud of it and it looks really cool. Let's continue with this anti-police propaganda. Because ACAB, because fuck the police, because they're racist pieces of shit. Nico Sphinx, thank you for the follow. After locals pointed out the number's use in white supremacist circles, 88 Tactical said on Twitter the map was a stock image and the choice of an outside designer. The gun range said they removed the map once the public brought to their attention the meaning of 1488. 88 Tactical also denounced white supremacy in the tweet, because, I mean, they kind of have to do that, right? Despite the company's rejection of white supremacy, a former 88 Tactical assistant instructor whose tenure lasted 1 year told Hate Watch he frequently observed racism and white nationalism from the senior instructors at the range. Interesting that such views may be pervasive among other partners of 88 Tactical as well. Activists shared with Hate Watch and anti-Muslim images that 88 Tactical senior instructor and OPD officer Devin Crinklaw, that's a fucking racist name. That man just sounds racist. Devin Crinklaw, I just immediately, just a fucking clan hood just spawned into my mind's eye. Devin Crinklaw. Officer Crinklaw sounds like the guy who beats you over the head with a fucking baton while you're handcuffed. They always deny after public outcry happens. Yeah, you kind of have to, just to get everybody to shut up. Bad Food Island. That have you guys seen that one meme that's like British beans, Mexican beans, and it's like, oh, that was top tier. Anyway, you have a gap in your schedule tonight. I'm going through a bout of assignment order shit. Yeah, I mean, if you want to hop in now, let me finish reading this article. If you want to pop in, what's up, Vulcan? I'm also a big fan of community policing, but it should come from within the community. It shouldn't be like the. For anyone who doesn't know, Frackle, could you please plug your video? Comrade Frackle in chat did a nice, a very informative, very deep, like to a depth that I don't think a lot of other videos will give you on YouTube, about the prison industrial complex, mass incarceration, the origins of it in Ireland and stuff. I did voiceover work in it. Bink Princess, shout out to Bink Princess. If you guys are Bink Princess fans, she also did some voiceover work. Lots of other really base creators were involved in it. Oh, well, yeah, there you go. Frackle, make sure you check out the video that Frackle just posted a link to in chat. If you guys are interested in any type of, if you want to understand what the police actually are and how they function, and then moving forward, if you would like to formulate some ideas about what community policing might look like or what it might be. Okay, here we go. Howdy. Let me finish reading this really quick. How long is this? All right, it's not that long. All right, I'll read this really quick, and then we'll talk to MxVivianWulf. Okay. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Despite the company's rejection of white supremacy, a former 88, I already read that. Such views may be pervasive among other partners of 88 Tactical as well. Activists shared with Hate Watch anti-Muslim images that 88 Tactical senior instructor in OPD, I already read that as well. Crink Law, who has worked for OPD for 19 years, runs In Extremis Tactical Group, a business that offers firearms and training to civilians and law enforcement in cooperation with 88 Tactical. The aforementioned former instructor did not know Crinklaw and made no claims about his conduct. One of Crinklaw's posts shows a painting depicting a North African attack on a U.S. ship during the Barbary Wars of 1801 through 1805. And for anyone who doesn't know, the Barbary Wars, the Barbary Corsairs, fucking based. They used to kidnap Christians and make them into slaves. And the white people used to get super fucking mad about it. But the image shows text that reads, Muslims attacking America since 1801. Ooh, edgy. Crinklaw also shared an image. For the Barbary Pirate Wars, I want to cover that so bad. So you guys know I'm about the Anarchata vibes, and I really want to cover on this channel at some point, because you see me on Twitter. The only flag I have on there is the pirate flag. I really want to cover like the Somali pirates, Caribbean pirates, you know what I mean, the Barbary Corsairs. I really want to cover like the true black illegalist shit that we have both in the past and in the present and contemporary times. But anyway, let me continue with this. Shout out to Meggie. Crinklaw also shared an image of a shooting target in the shape of a man in traditional Muslim garb raising a weapon. That's edgy. Crinklaw captioned that post, "Would somebody shoot this guy, please?" Oh, cool. Another post features a photo of an assault rifle leaned against a wall adorned with the Jerusalem cross. Crinklaw captioned it, "Good combination, old mission, modern tools." And Extremis' logo is the Jerusalem cross, a symbol of Christendom associated with the Kingdom of Jerusalem, which Crusaders first established in the 11th century after defeating Muslim rulers in the Levant. Just to show you what that guys look like, just show y'all what this looks like really quick. I guess it's not. Oh, let me pull it up. I don't know why that happened, but this is the Jerusalem cross. That's it. For our right figures, let me put the loop back on. Far-right figures have adopted Crusader imagery as part of their self-stylized modern-day war against Islam. Anders Breivik, the far-right Islamophobe who killed 78 people in Norway in 2011, viewed himself as a Christian knight fighting Islam. Breivik wore the Maltese cross, a symbol of the Crusader Knights Templar whom the Kingdom of Jerusalem employed in their war with Islamic kingdoms. Whether Crinklaw is aware of this history is unclear. He did not respond to a request for comment. The emails show OPD Lieutenant Jacob Britannia first tried to arrange the swap on April 29th. Britannia's first choice for the trade was Omaha Tactical, an Omaha-based firearms dealer that OPD officer Kenner Hatfield runs. That also sounds like an extremely fucking racist name. Officer Hatfield. Officer Hatfield definitely be fucking turning the body camera off. That's all I have to say about that. Bernard and Den Bosch, Omaha's deputy city attorney, said in a May 5th email the trade would run afoul of the city charter, which states no city employee can have a financial interest in contracts. Deputy Chief Scott Gray informed Britannia, "We will not be able to do a trade with Hatfield because he is a current city employee. You'll have to see if another vendor can offer something. This particular proposal is denied." Omaha Tactical does business with other companies linked to OPD, including In Extremis. In Extremis posted on November 27, 2021, that one of their employees participated in a shooting competition using the In Extremis Tactical Group combat carbine, proudly built by Kenner Hatfield of OmahaTactical.com. Well, at least he's a decent gunsmith, looks like. A Nebraska State Patrol document listed Crinklaw as a concealed handgun permit instructor and gave 88 Tactical's address and his contact information. Interesting. Hate Watch was unable to find statistics on the frequency of such trades between police departments and private businesses. Though Crinklaw works with 88 Tactical, both in Den Bosch and Frank Daly, the executive director of the Nebraska Accountability and Disclosure Commission, told Hate Watch the agreement would not violate city or state conflict of interest laws. In Den Bosch said if a city employee does not have an interest that is specifically benefited by the contract, then there should not be an issue. There is no question that we do have to rely on the entity with whom we contract to ensure that there is no violation of the city charter or state law, since we have no way of knowing who has a financial interest. If we become aware that the city charter or state law is being violated, we will act to void the contract, he continued. So that's something interesting. Alrighty. Viv, what's happening?
Hey, what's happening, bud?
Good to finally meet you. Sort of, anyway.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck happened trying to arrange it last time.
It
I think I was just...
I just
Yeah,
figured
I think
that, you know, we would be like two ships passing in the night eventually. We would cross paths at some point, whether we tried to or not. So, because a lot of people in my chat have been like telling me I really need to speak to you. So.
Oh, have they? Why is that then? What were they saying you should talk to me about?
I guess we're just some of the few actual true anti-fascists on the platform who actually have that kind of experience and knowledge.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, I am not active, like streetwise anymore.
Oh.
It's been a long time since I've done protests or anything like that, but
Yeah,
I mean,
I would consider.
I still consider myself. Yeah, I still consider myself to have that kind of ideology, I guess.
Right on.
Spend a lot of my time just trying to deal with like cult-related shit nowadays.
Really?
Because that's where everything took me in the end. Yeah, no, so I started off with, I guess, what you'd call street activism, but I was just an angry kid who didn't fucking like Nazis. So
relatable.
It was mostly just running around punching people.
Relatable.
But
or Minecraft.
Yeah, sure, in Minecraft. But but you know, you get a little bit older, right? And you get a bit more involved in what you're doing, and you start helping out in the communities, doing food drives, all that sort of shit, right?
Naturally.
And then I got ill, and I just wasn't able to be out and about as much anymore. So I moved a lot of what I was doing, like online information gathering, etc. Right, and then I fell in with some dudes who were like working on a kind of de-radicalization project or whatever.
Right
This
on.
was back when we were sort of thinking. I mean, there's projects out there that do that kind of work, like exit work and stuff, which
Oh
is really
yeah, no
great.
doubt.
And I think that the exit work stuff is the way to go. But at the time, I think I was pretty naive, and I was like, yeah, maybe we can actually like do full on outreach, right, and try and drag people out. And it was a dumb idea. It went really horribly fucking wrong.
Yeah, I could imagine
International
so.
police investigation level wrong.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, no, like
Yikes! You had Interpol. That's different.
terror. Yeah, there were like bomb terror threats and shit going on.
Sheesh.
Um, yeah, uh,
So,
fucking.
so here's an interesting question because
Yeah,
I have had, I mean, an almost identical journey. Not so much getting to the cult part, but when I was in the street pretty recently, there was an intersection of the like neo-Nazi shit and the cult shit. I'm not sure if y'all have them over there, but because I know they exist in Italy and they're international now. But there's a group called the Wolves of Vinland. Have you heard of them before?
yeah,
Yeah. So they were this like Odinic wolf cult, how they describe themselves here, and
yeah,
so like I've been in the same room as Paul Wagner before. Like I know I of like lots of different members of that group, and the whole thing of it was, very cult like. It wasn't just what they called it, but also a lot of like teenage kids who were already kind of alienated, just as a consequence of capitalism, but were also involved in that particular scene of music of like black metal, which is
yeah,
itself pretty inward. So it also made them, I feel like, very susceptible to that kind of rhetoric and that kind of ideology. And do you find that there's a lot of overlap in like people who get sucked into cults and people who get sucked into neo-Nazi organizations?
yeah. I mean, I think there's a huge amount of overlap. I would just say that like the white power movement in itself is extraordinarily cult-like,
Oh,
and
for
there are
sure.
various organizations that are sort of like more controlling than others, but like pretty much all of them have a sort of vaguely cult-like mentality, and fascism I would describe as a political cult.
Yeah, no
But
doubt.
like, um, uh, but yeah, like one of the phenomena that we see is like cult hopping is generally what it's described as, right? And you have
Hmm.
people who are sort of just looking for their niche, I guess.
Makes
And
sense.
sometimes it can be because they don't really feel like they fit in. Sometimes it can like they don't feel like they fit in the first one they go to, so they move to another and another till they find somewhere they fit in. Sometimes it can be that they think that the group that they hit up first like ends up being too extreme, and so they're like, oh, I want to step back from this, and they sort of like segue into some kind of Christian nationalist organization
That
instead
makes
of
sense
like
as well.
a full-on atom waffen one. And sometimes it's the other way. Sometimes it's like, oh, these guys are fucking pussies. I want to go out and shoot some people, or I want to prove that I'm like the edgiest boy on the block. So they go from some Christian nationalist organization all the way to like some,
Like,
09A Satanist third path child molesters
ooh,
fucking organization.
ooh,
So
O 09A. That's
yeah.
a deep cut. Can you explain O 09A just for the viewers who might not be aware of that?
Um, yeah, I mean, I don't like talking about them too much because I don't want to give them too much fucking airtime because they're
Yeah, you're
still.
right.
But they were a neo-Nazi group that was formed in, I believe, in Yorkshire in the UK, like
Really?
all the way back in, I want to say, the 80s or something,
Because
right?
I became
The
aware of
80s.
them through, through the music scene, through like French black metal
Mm,
bands.
yeah, that would make sense as well because, like, the Hostia and so one of their religious texts and um, some of their like chants and stuff that they've kind of put to music already.
Right, right,
Um,
right.
and they're kind of, yeah. I mean, black metal scene's perfect for that kind of like
Oh
satanic
yeah,
Nazi shit. right?
Right.
Like, yeah, there's a big problem with that there. So yeah, it was. I believe it was started up in Yorkshire, and it's been a while since I've talked about these guys. So don't take absolutely everything I say as read. I'm gonna
Oh yeah,
speak in vagaries to make sure that I don't say anything false.
that, and I
But
feel like like you said, we don't want to give them too much airtime too. So makes
yeah,
sense.
sure. It's just it's been about 3-4 years since I really thought about them in any detail. So anyway, yeah, they were formed, and they uh, they basically claim to have a path that you can kind of follow to eschew regular morality, right? That's the kind of vague idea of it,
Like
is
just
that they want
pure
you to
their misinterpretation of nihilism, basically.
basically, yeah. And there's a lot of sort of like offshooty groups like the Krieg Division and Sonnenkrieg or whatever, like offshoots of the Atomwaffen Division, because
Yeah,
Atomwaffen Division had a huge like Nazi Satanist problem for a while.
yeah,
um, and all these other kind of splinter groups formed. So there's a lot of these groups where they're just sort of like, I don't believe in your like liberal society's morality, so I'm going to prove that like I just have no morals. I'm an animalistic creature, and I follow
right.
my instincts, right? Um, and
It seems to be a
so
common thread
yeah,
between a lot of, because that's kind of Wolves of Vinland's through line as well, rewilding yourself or whatever.
yeah. There's a few like slightly less Nazi like eco-terrorist groups as well, especially in like Latin America, that do
Mm,
the same kind of thing, where they're just like, yeah, they, I think they called it basically going feral or whatever it is in whatever language they. But
right.
yeah, it was sort of translated as going feral, right? Where
Okay.
they want to become like the animals, and animals feel threatened, they kill, right? So
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Fun
And one of
stuff.
those groups like carved up a fucking CEO and put him in a briefcase at a train station. So like, yeah, we're talking, yeah, and yeah, O9A have inspired a horrendous amount of child abuse, child molestation, child torture, and all that sort of stuff. Because if you want to prove that you're the maximum edgy boy, like,
Yeah, I was just about to
do you
say
know what I
that one
mean?
of the goals
Yeah,
is like to be do the most extreme possible acts, like a '70s, a shitty '70s slasher movie or something.
yeah, basically. So like, pretty fucked up pieces of work,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
But like I say, it's been a while since I've thought about them. But yeah, how did we even get onto the fucking O9A? Oh, we were
That
yeah,
was
like
me.
the
Yeah,
kind of the
that was my fault.
crossover, the like cult crossover with Nazis. Yeah, I mean
Right.
O9A is absolutely cultish.
Oh,
Like, I
absolutely.
mean,
Yeah.
I described the Hostia as like a religious text, right? So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's completely down a fucking weirdo rabbit hole. I
Oh,
think one of the really weird things about the O9A is they come out of like a pretty long tradition of like people trying to. Um, uh, so I don't know if do you know who like Joshua Sutter is, or any of those folks?
no, that name sounds familiar, but I'm not entirely sure.
Okay, again, been a while since I've fucking looked into any of this shit,
It's all good.
but it's like way back, way back in the, I want to say, the 1970s, 1980s,
Joshua
something like
Sutter, you
that.
said?
Yeah. So
Okay.
like John Paul Cupp and Joshua Sutter and um, fucking some of the earlier kind of like neo Nazis.
Oh, is this the
Um,
guy that killed the Power Ranger dude, or is this someone different? Oh, never mind. I'm sorry.
uh, I have no idea. Did he kill a Power Ranger dude? Whatever,
Something
whatever.
I got. I have
Whatever.
ADHD. I'm sorry.
So hey, look, 2003. Okay,
Okay.
John Paul Cupp gets this message, all right, from the government of North Korea. Says it says, upon the authorization of the Central Committee, Pyongyang extends militant greetings to you, who extend warm support and solidarity to the Songan policy of our respected Marshal Kim Jong Il, treasured sword of our nation. Right? At the time, this dude's fucking homeless. Right? Like the
Right.
guy that they're trying to contact. The guy's homeless. He's But so they started up this group called this Song and Study Group, which like uh, was both white nationalist and had sympathies towards like authoritarian communism.
So almost like white power cross pollinate with like Juche.
Yeah, basically,
Okay.
right? Because they saw the nationalism and the racial homogeneity of uh, these forms of communism as being positive ways to get a racially homogenous society, basically.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's, you know, they fucked around with that. That went absolutely batshit tits up.
And they found out.
Yeah, right. Um, a few other dudes like were like sort of messing around with like the Baathist dudes and stuff, right?
Mm.
But eventually they all kind of like come together in the Order of Nine Embers, like, and it's just this is what I mean by cult hopping, right? It's like this kind of thread of Aryanism like never really goes away. Like the white supremacism is always there,
Right.
but they're bouncing between like um, uh, you know, authoritarian communism, Baathism, jihadism, Hinduism. You know about all the Kali Yuga shit and everything, obviously, right?
Right.
Um,
The true dragon of chaos.
yeah, right. Just insane shit like that, just all over the fucking place. So yeah, absolutely. To answer your question in a very, very, very long way,
Right
um,
on.
yeah, there's a huge crossover, huge crossover,
That's
and that's what got me kind of interested in cults because in the process of like trying to work out how to do de-radicalization. I hate that term now. I don't think that it's something that
yeah,
you
I was gonna
necessarily
say,
do, but
unfortunately, people have kind of taken the teeth out of that term because they
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
what it actually entails.
But in the process of trying to work out how to do that, right? Um, I had to read a lot about like the psychology of radicalization, and the psychology of radicalization is all about like the psychology of thought reform. Which have you ever read any Robert J. Lifton?
I have not.
Fully recommend Robert J. Lifton. He's also got a few lectures on YouTube. Might be worth watching on stream sometime if you want something. I don't know.
Awesome.
It's fairly heavy, but like
That's what
I
we do
think some
here.
of them would be okay for streaming.
I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
He does one on like Nazi doctors, which might be super interesting for an audience to watch, where he talks about the because his whole meme is psychohistory, right? Is what he calls it, where he's trying to work out the psychology of people who are involved in what he calls apocalyptic violence, right?
Okay.
Um, so he's done a lot on Om Shinrikyo. He did that kind of
Oh wow.
contemporarily. Um, but he's also done a shitload on the Nazis, and his lecture on the Nazis is about how like these dudes can go into like fucking Auschwitz or Birkenau or whatever, commit these absolute atrocities, and then go home to like their wife and kids and be a completely normal person, right?
Interesting.
Um, and how they, yeah, and he calls it a kind of psychological splitting where you not like uh, not like split personalities or anything,
I get
right?
what you mean
But where
because
you take on a different role in different spaces, and you can kind of justify that to yourself because you have to be the monster in one space, and you become the monster for the glory of the motherland, right?
that's
Like you
very
take on.
interesting because that was kind of when I was reading medical apartheid and looking at like analyses of the way here in America, like the way white supremacy developed during slavery, um, like talking about like lynchings and how you would have like lynchings and such, but there would be like celebrations, like you would see kids playing and shit and like picnics and that type of shit, and they kind of touched on that a little bit. So I'm definitely gonna
Mm.
read into this guy. Thank you for that.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely check out Robert J. Lifton. Love him. A couple of his books on my bedside table, actually. Thought
Nice.
Reform and the Psychology of Totalism, which is, to me, one of the most important books in understanding thought reform and radicalization. One of, I mean, you should never go, oh, I only follow the work of this one person, right?
True.
Obviously, read a variety of things, but I think Robert J. Lifton does excellent work in that book. And I think I've also got his Om Sharikyo book here somewhere, which was, what was it, Apocalyptic Violence and the New Global Terrorism or something, I think it's called. That's also a really incredible book. Oh, it's here on my desk, actually. Destroying the World to Save It by Robert J. Lifton. Another really
Destroying
great
the
book.
world to save it.
Yeah. And that's specifically about like apocalyptic and millenarian violence, right?
Awesome.
Which is like, bringing about the end of the world for the purposes of rejuvenation and creating a new world afterwards.
The whole
So like,
kind of, it's reminding me kind of like the Apolloism thing that Richard Spencer has been talking about recently.
yeah, I haven't been following Richard Spencer that much, and I don't know enough about Apolloism to speak on it. But I would say other examples are like the Day of the Rope, or
Okay, yeah, that make okay. I get
yeah,
exactly where you're
right,
going.
like a time of horrific, terrifying violence that is
Rahua.
supposed to cleanse and purify humanity, and then the remainders rebuild some kind of utopia. I mean, that's the millennium, right? That's the Christian biblical millennium. That's why it's called millenarianism, because Christ comes down, the apocalypse. Not the apocalypse. Armageddon happens, right? The apocalypse is the prediction of Armageddon, or I think apocalypse is just like a revelation, right? A vision.
Yeah,
In the
apocalypse just
Bible.
means revelation. Yeah.
But Armageddon happens or whatever, right? Like the trumpets sound, the earth cracks, the insects of the earth gain the power of the insects of the air gain the power of the scorpions of the earth and sting men for 30 days and still they don't die, etc., etc., etc. And the war with the beast and the fucking dragon with 7 heads and all that shit. So the earth gets earthquakes, meteors, whatever. The earth gets
I was raised Baptist,
fucked.
so
yeah,
and I was
yeah.
unfortunately I went to Jesuit school growing up, so.
All right, yeah. I mean, so you know all this stuff. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just embellishing for the chat.
Oh yeah.
Imagine.
I wasn't. Please, by all means, I wasn't. I was just kind of. I was having flashbacks. So.
But yeah, so rain of hellfire, the earth's completely fucking destroyed, right? And that's what apparently needs to happen in order that like God's kingdom can come to earth and Christ can reign for 1,000 years, a millennium. Yeah.
Right.
That's where you get the term millenarianism from. Yeah. But yeah. So reading into Lifton, reading into other stuff, Margaret Sanger, and a few other people, just attempting to understand the psychology of radicalization was like what drew me more to cults, because cults are generally like historical cults. I'd say we're entering an era now in which like the internet is so prominent that we have like these huge decentralized cults, things like QAnon or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But, what people traditionally think of when they think of a cult, they think of like a relatively closed group with a strict hierarchical structure and a leader or leaders at the top, something like Scientology or Jonestown, right? Jim Jones's cult. They think of that. And those kinds of groups are super they're a lot easier to kind of study, I think, the psychology of what's going on in there, because you have a much sort of smaller, tight-knit, closed group, and you can see it a lot more clearly rather than all these kind of connections that happen through the internet, and it's a lot more subtle, the kind of social pressures that go on, and the ways in which people are coerced, I guess, into just being in that one space, right?
Definitely.
Because radicalization is about that. It's about information control, right? It's about cutting people off from other communities, isolating them.
Mind control.
I fucking hate that term. I would never use it, but sure, what people would consider to be mind control. I much prefer thought reform. Just because there's a lot of people who used terms like mind control and brainwashing and stuff who like justified it to do some pretty fucking heinous shit back in sort of the 70s and 80s and so on.
Oh yeah, with like MK Ultra and all that stuff.
Yeah, I guess there's that stuff. And one, it's inaccurate, right? It doesn't really work that way. You don't just sit somebody down in a room, wave a watch in front of their
Oh
face,
yeah,
and go. You on the 4th of July, you'll assassinate the president, right? Like that doesn't fucking happen.
yeah. That's I mean, in Call of Duty, it was a cool Call of Duty, but I don't know if it really
Yeah,
happens like
yeah.
that in real life.
But also more the deprogramming kind of movement, right? You had people like Ted Ted quote Black Lightning Patrick, who I interviewed actually at the age of
Really?
90 something, and I think he might be on his way to dementia, frankly. But I he kidnapped a woman and held her in a fucking cabin in the woods for like I think it was like 7 days,
Jesus.
um, and denied her food and water for a period of time during that as well, and just berated her and shit. And he did that to her because her family had said that she'd got involved in a cult and paid him to deprogram her.
I don't know if that's how you do
And
that, but
well, yeah, but that's how a lot of the early deprogrammers did it, right?
oh
Because the
wow.
idea was to use, this is how you brainwash someone. You get them in a room, you abuse them until they something flips in their head, and all of a sudden they're a mindless following zombie, right? And then, so how do we get them out of that? Oh, well, we've got to use similar kind of methods. This is what I mean
Oh,
about like
I
terminology and stuff. Yeah.
totally understand it. I totally understand now.
Yeah, yeah. And so the misunderstanding of mind control, brainwashing, whatever you want to call it,
Right.
like leads to these abusive practices of deprogramming that have left a whole bunch of people like seriously traumatized.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really unfortunate.
Anyway, sorry. That's
Oh no no
just
no
in and
no!
out.
I'm just letting you cook because you're like this is another one of those times where I meet someone new and cool, so I just like listen because I'm learning and I fucking love to hear other people say stuff that I've never heard before. So
That's fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I can ramble about this stuff for fucking ever, but I don't want to like bore you or alienate your audience or whatever.
trust,
So
I'm
like,
not bored, and I don't think anyone in my audience is bored either. A lot of these people wanted me to talk specifically to you, so no, this isn't Zicky at Bombs. This is you might be interested in this as well. This is Vivian Wolf, who did some anti-fascist work, but that kind of segued into like cult de-radicalization, like real de-radicalization, not Twitch poll de-radicalization.
cult stuff, I guess. It's mostly just trying to work out how cults recruit and what kind of measures you can take against cult recruitment, and trying to understand individual cultic groups, and trying to like, I guess, raise the alarm about them occasionally as well,
Right, when they become
um,
dangerous to their members or to society.
yeah, I mean, I think they always are
Well, yeah,
dangerous, but
true, true,
yeah,
true.
some of them worse than others, right? It's like, and it's so hard sometimes because you have groups like the Unification Church, right, who, like, they're getting a lot of press right now because of the guy that shot Shinzo Abe, right?
Mm.
Um, so the guy that shot Shinzo Abe was a second generation cult member. He grew up in the cult, right? And he
If I remember
says,
that correctly, he was upset that they essentially like finessed his mother out of all of her money or some shit like that. Am I
yeah, pretty much.
okay?
Apparently, she made some very large donations to the church, which ended up ruining her. So that's what he was pissed off about, at
Mm.
least. And Shinzo Abe like has been friendly with and has promoted the Unification Church, also known as the Moonies. Like, some of the people
Moonies,
in the
okay.
audience might have heard of the Moonies because of their one particular sect in the United States, the gun Moonies. They're usually referred to,
Mm.
right? Who are like slightly more into guns and interpret the rod of iron in the Bible to be an AR-15, which is, that's great news, I guess. It's good rubbernecking news, right? Like, people love to read that kind of stuff and go, "Wow, those people are crazy."
Right.
Um, but yeah, so
The
he,
grocery store tabloid stuff.
yeah, yeah. But so he did that, and so we've got this like big spotlight on the Unification Church. But it's just like, how do you use these incidents to the best of your ability, right? Because it creates a surge of interest in the particular cult, and this cult is engaged in horrendously
Yo,
abusive
Polly, thank you for
practices.
the
We're
raid.
talking human trafficking and slavery, right? basically. In addition to just the usual kind of horrible culty shit where it's like people being abused in marriages that they don't want to be in, all that sort of stuff, people being fleeced out of all their money, and so on. And they also have a huge political influence, right? They have political
I'm
influence
sure
in
if they
Japan,
have that
obviously,
much
as
money,
we've
yeah.
already seen. Yeah, yeah. Um,
Just really quick,
do
because
you,
Polly People just rated me. Thanks, Polly People, for the raid.
hey,
Hell yeah.
I like Polly People.
Me too.
She's good people.
Indeed.
Um, but yeah, so they have huge influence in Japan, in Korea, where they were formed, right? And in the United States and some other places around the world. So you're sort of like, these are the things that you want to get through to people. You want to go, hey, this is a horrible, abusive cult that destroys
Yeah,
some
hop
of
in
its
later,
members
Pyro.
financially, mentally, right? That engages in human trafficking, that has insane apocalyptic belief structure, and has influence on governments, right? And that should fucking terrify everybody. But it's like all people want to do is talk about the crazy guy who like shot Shinzo Abe with a homemade shotgun or a
Right.
homemade electric blunderbuss, whatever the fuck you want to
Whatever
call
it
it.
was. My
Yeah,
man
with a
made
zip
that in
gun.
Fortnite.
So I guess yeah, that's one of the hardest things I think is the whole of raising the alarm, because I think a lot of people just don't give a shit,
Oh, for
right? They're just
sure.
like, oh, those people are batshit insane, so it's nothing to do with me.
It's kind of
Um,
like, I feel like it's not quite the same, excuse me, but it's like a similar vein where like you find out there's like some kind, like the story I was just reading, where you find out there's like some kind of Klansman or weird neo-Nazi in the police department or something, and
mm,
it becomes a story. I just read a story on the stream a couple weeks ago about a police officer from the BPD named Steve Angelini, who was like selling ghost guns to this local
I
biker gang.
recognize that name.
Yeah, he was selling ghost guns to this local biker gang and selling drugs to them and with them, and it was a mess. Doing the whole overtime thing, and I feel like it makes a nice headline, and it's sexy for like maybe a week tops, and it also I feel like
And
has.
then nobody gives a fuck about it.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And I also kind of feel like it has a little bit to do with the way that it's presented in the media, because it's all
Mm,
infotainment at the end of the day. Like, I feel like a lot of people wouldn't take the same care with that information the same way that, like, you or I would. It's just
yeah.
kind of treated as what's going to grab eyeballs to keep them for these next couple of days or whatever until some celebrity says, makes a gaffe or something else happens.
Yeah. And also a kind of focus on individuals, I think, as well.
That too.
So
That too.
um so with cults it's like who's like the big leady figure and what kind of crazy things are they saying, and
Right.
there's very little focus on the members and like uh the things they might be doing to hurt
Like
others
the
and the ways
culture of
that
it.
they are being hurt by the cult, right? That's much more complicated and messy, and people don't really want to deal with it. They just want flashy tabloid headlines.
Right.
And for the police it's like, oh, we got this one individual who's like done a really horrific and bad thing, and they'll focus on that and not talk about the culture that allowed and produced that person, right? That's why we've still got the fucking LASD sheriff's gangs,
Oh,
right?
right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because it's a much messier situation that doesn't make for good headlines beyond, oh, there were some sheriff's gangs, it's,
Right.
it's frustrating, I think.
And also, people don't really know what to do either. I feel like it's not only
Yeah.
that they don't really understand the culture of it or like where it comes from, but they also just don't know what the solutions are.
Hmm. Well, I mean,
Like not in the same way that people, you know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty invested in it, I would consider, and you put me on to Jay Lofton, Richard J. Lofton. Is that what his name was?
Lifton, Robert
Lifton,
J.
Robert
Lifton.
Lifton, of course.
Yeah,
I
that's right.
saved it down here just in case I did what I exactly just did, but
That's all right. It was close, right? You were close.
I knew it was a RJL. Yeah, right on. Cool. Um, hell
Yeah.
yeah.
So I moved through all that sort of stuff, and now I guess I care about cults more than anything else. And I was working really heavily on QAnon for like 2-3 years. I've spent so much time talking to QAnoners, right? Insane amounts of time. I've got some batshit recordings.
I think
Um,
because I was actually supposed to talk
but
to Talworks tonight. I think he and F Bombs for You did a thing on Q, if I'm not mistaken, as well, and
oh,
like how
nice.
it related to like John Bolton.
Ah, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
That should be interesting.
yeah.
Um, but recently I've just been dealing with fucking turfs because I'm like stuck in
I
this,
was gonna say Turf
stuck on
Island.
fucking Turf Island.
That
Yeah,
sucks. I'm
and
so sorry.
yeah, and I think I shifted focus to turfs about like around the beginning of this year, like away from QAnon towards turfs. And
It makes
I do
sense.
consider turfism to be a cult, right? Um,
Well, yeah,
has
it's
its
kind of born out of
yeah,
the white feminist movement,
uh,
at least here in America.
yeah. I So there's definitely aspects of the white feminist movement, and there's white feminists who've been like kind of taken in by it. But
Hmm.
at its heart, I would say it's like a fundamentally conservative movement,
True.
and pretty much always has been. Like from the very beginning, pretty much. And there are some spooky fucking connections if you really kind of dig, because you have like some of the people who really kind of like pushed in the beginning from groups like Deep Green Resistance, who are basically just straight up eco-fascist,
Okay.
right? Um, and people like Jennifer Billick, who is cited and lauded by a lot of prominent TERFs, who just like has this site called the 11th Hour blog. You can go look at it whenever the fuck you feel like,
That
and it is
sounds very, very millenarian.
right, yeah. Um, but it's all about how like so she started off saying rich elites are pushing a transhumanist agenda,
That
right?
that
In order
is
to,
barely even a dog whistle. Like I have tinnitus and I heard
right?
that shit.
Yeah, yeah. But then this dude, this neo-Nazi called Keith Woods, like reached out to her, and they started getting pally, and he was like, "Have you noticed how all these elites are Jews?" And now she's just straight up okay with saying, "Yeah,
Oh
like
my
these Jewish
god.
billionaires."
Oh
Um,
god.
and a lot of TERFs have like repeated that sort of stuff. Helen Joyce, who wrote Trans, what was the subtitle? I can't remember, but her book Trans basically accuses a bunch of Jewish billionaires of the same thing, and there's just this layer of like neo-Nazi conspiracy theories and
Yeah,
anti-Semitism that
the
runs
Zog
through the
stuff.
entire TERF movement. Yeah,
Yeah, that's so.
absolutely insane. So while I shift on to like turfs and transphobia and stuff, I used to think I wouldn't really be taken like seriously. I'd just be another fucking trans person talking about trans shit. Um,
That's unfortunate.
in the cult research community. But I think people have really kind of like woken up over the last couple of years to the fact that like transphobia is this huge recruiting tool for the alt right, and that there are um, there are huge links between the what Judith Butler calls the anti-gender movement and like global fascism,
Have a good
right,
night, Freckle.
and white nationalism and stuff around the world.
For sure.
Yeah,
That also makes me feel really good too. That's like, because it's another one of those things. It's like, is me like as a black person? It's like, oh, I'm just gonna be the black person talking about racism again. You know what I mean? And
yeah, I get you.
yeah, for sure. Hell
It's fucking annoying, right?
yeah. It
Like
is.
when I came onto Twitch, I was just like, I don't want to be another trans person talking about trans issues. And then I had like this one debate with fucking Destiny about trans sport
Oh god.
years and years ago, and people still come to me and go, "Oh, you're the person who's like, you're the trans person who does the trans sport stuff," and I'm just like,
Oh
that's like
no.
that's like so far removed from like 99.9
Right.
percent of what I do. Like I've just had a few debates on trans sports. That's it. Like leave me alone. It's fucking wild. But yeah, I think that does happen because you get kind of pegged as a minority exemplar,
Oh,
right?
for sure. And
Yeah.
these people are the gatekeepers of the space, and I feel like not much is said on the effort that they'll put in to do that to you as a minority, as a new voice in the space that they might see as a challenge.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And it's like, oh, where can I find X minority person to argue with about this issue or that issue?
Right.
Yeah, because it's just, and that's what you become.
Just
That's what you're
another
useful
token
for to them.
minority, the token
Yeah,
trans or
yeah,
the token black or the token woman or whatever.
yeah. We're talking about whether black people commit more crime tonight. So
I
we're
was
going to
gonna say
invite on
there was
Mr.
one
Black.
panel I
Yeah.
saw. It was on like the Crucible or Politically Provoked or something. It was like we're gonna get a black guy and a Jewish guy to argue which was worse, slavery or the Holocaust, and it's like, oh
Jesus
my
fucking Christ.
god,
That sounds like a politically provoked panel, that one. Fuck
it's
me. Although
something.
it could just as easily be a Prime panel nowadays. The way Twitch has gone. Like,
You're not wrong about that. Oh man,
it's upsetting. I think of Prime. I think of Prime very fondly. You know,
really?
like yeah, and
I've heard
I'm
so many mixed emotions
sorry,
about Prime. Oh no 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 no.
but
I've heard so many because I'm not even gonna get into it now, but yeah, I've heard so
mm,
many different things about Prime that are just like I've just
yeah, I
kind
know.
of I won't say I have necessarily avoided him, but I've just kind of for me it's been more worthwhile to
Mm,
like I've built this space, my channel I made primarily as like a space for black revolutionaries and people sympathetic to that. And black people, we intersect with all kinds of different layers of oppression. So like black trans people,
mm,
black women, those are the most people I want to support because I feel like those are the most like targeted voices in the space. But
yeah,
also anybody else, like any other comrades, any allies I can make along the way to try to create a space that's like at the very
same.
least not hostile toward us and not treating us like we're just like wrestlers in a stable in WWF or like characters in a fighting game or something. You know what I mean?
Totally. I mean, I can't pretend that I'm not like really invested in my own survival and the survival of people like me, right? And
Right.
our sort of struggle for liberation. But like at the same time, I'm constantly saying to other people, especially for like the British trans activist kind of movement, I think we have for example, we have a real uh, problem with anti-traveller racism here in the UK, right?
Oh
The
no.
Gypsy
Yeah,
Romani
yeah, yeah.
traveller community.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, I would say that the government's carrying out a cultural genocide on them, if not an actual
Really?
genocide. Um, and they've been demonized and vilified for decades.
I
And
knew
I
that it was
think
kind
that
of like a social thing that they were not particularly well liked, but I didn't know that it was actually like codified into law over there. Sorry.
yeah, I mean, it's so when you say codified into law, I mean it's like redlining in the United States, right?
Okay, right,
It's
right,
not
right.
like it's not like uh, fuck the travelers, right? But it's just like these are laws that affect travelers and result in their children being taken away, their homes
Right.
being impounded, and
But
them
I'm
being
sure
imprisoned.
because I was gonna
Yeah,
say, I'm sure the police also move a certain way because it's the same here in America where it's not like there's
yeah,
no law that says fuck black people. But
yeah,
I
exactly.
read a DOJ report where the top brass of BPD were like, yeah, go out there and lock up as many black people as possible.
But but I just want to finish what I was saying because it sounds really bad to like
Sorry,
end on like, oh, I care about my own community, right? But like, so
I
it's
wouldn't
I
expect
can't
anything
I
otherwise.
yeah I but um but I think that, and I've said this before, and Pyro Tyrant's heard me say this before, right? Is that I think that you know, whilst we're all experiencing different axes of oppression, we're all fighting against um, the same thing,
Exactly.
which is this ideal citizen who is cis, het, white,
Right.
fairly well off, right, middle or upper class or whatever, able-bodied, blah 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 blah. Right?
Right.
You have this ideal, perfect paragon human that like white supremacy and all of these other various like kind of hate ideologies they idolize that person, and if you differ from that in any way, then you're going to suffer some kind of oppression, right? And those axes of oppression are completely different.
For
um
sure.
uh Completely different. Those axes of oppression are different, but there are also similarities between them, and we're all kind of fighting against the same enemy, really, which is, yeah, like I would say, cis heteronormative white
Patriarchy.
supremacy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I say the exact same thing on my platform. No wonder why
So,
people wanted us to talk.
and we should all be supporting each other, right? Like,
Absolutely.
I want liberation for all people. I want autonomy for all people to decide like how they want to live their lives, and to live those
Likewise.
lives free of violence and oppression and so on.
Yeah, that's
So
kind of when I
yeah,
say like I'm for black liberation, but it's not like I always say like it's not exclusively black liberation. Like black and indigenous liberation
yeah,
means that everybody benefits from that. You know what I mean?
yeah. And I think it would be. I think it's very different. Sorry, I think it's very difficult for any of us to truly achieve liberation until we've defeated that like fascist paragon, right?
Absolutely.
That perfect human, like I spoke about before, perfect in very big quotation marks, but you
Right.
know what I
Air
mean when I
quotes.
say that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
for sure.
Until we've defeated that idea of like this is how people are supposed to be, and everybody else kind of sucks. Like, I don't think any of us can really get anywhere. Like, not be fully liberated. We could be elevated, right? We can do a little bit better. Like, I would say gay people are doing a little bit better than they were. I would say in some ways black folks are doing a little bit better than they were.
Yeah,
Right? In
there's
some ways
strides,
trans people are doing a bit better than they were. In some
baby
ways they're doing
steps.
worse.
There's,
Yeah.
but it's also, excuse me, also because like we build like our own resources, like kind of like almost like dual power. You know what I mean? Where we're doing mutual
Mm.
aid, and because we have to put so much effort into supporting our own,
Yeah.
it gets those types of things get. Oh my god, hang on, let me fucking ban this fucker. All right, neurodivergence soon maybe.
I mentioned able-bodied and neurotypical. Did I not mention neurotypical? Okay, whatever. But
Also, yeah,
like, but that's why inter-community solidarity is so important. I feel what you're
indeed.
talking about there, like building those sort of structures and support networks and so on. Like, I feel those things are so much more effective the more people are that are involved, right?
Right.
And
I feel like
like,
that is the revolution in and of itself is, getting people involved in that and building those types of things. Like Frackle left earlier because he has to wake up for food, not bombs. And you said that, that's like the natural, because I do the same thing. That's actually the other thing I wanted to do with my platform is do fundraisers because I see people doing them all the time.
mm,
You eventually get to your local food not bombs or your jail solidarity organizations or what have you, abortion funds, trans refuge organizations, all those types of things, because they're necessary, and the more people that contribute to them, the stronger they get.
yeah, for sure. I don't. Yeah, I find it frustrating when people try and argue against that and say that they have to put that they're only focused on the rights of their own community.
Right.
I find that kind of frustrating. I can understand where people are coming from, right? Because it's them and their friends who are hurting, and they're like, I can't afford to pay attention to other people's struggles.
Right.
We've got our own struggle. But I think that is a myopic view that ultimately denies you. Like, if you want to think of it in a completely selfish way, it ultimately denies you the resources that would, help you to achieve greater things.
Agreed.
Yeah,
And tactically, it's like you're cutting off potential allies in the fight.
yeah, yeah. Like, how many? What do you want? Do you want everybody in your community to show up to a protest, or do you want everybody in your community and like three other communities to show up to a protest for something that you want to get through? Like,
Right.
that's the fucking. It's a really easy calculation in my head. right? Like, oh, kitty.
This is Washer.
Yeah, they support other groups. They support you, and you build a larger community. Basically, yeah. It's just how it's got to, you know.
He's gonna come
Because
here and scream for a
it's
minute. So.
harder as well, though, right? Because I also get the whole like, oh, white person comes into like a black activist space and starts like trying to take over or whatever, and starts saying, oh, I think we should do things this way. And I think it's always got to be done with the philosophy that like, if you're working on a problem that affects a particular community and you're not a part of that community, then you've got to let them lead in what they want to do.
Right,
And you can
agreed.
make the decision as to whether or not you want to assist them in that. Maybe they decide they want to do something that you think's totally immoral, and you're like, okay, I'm out. That's
Right.
totally fine, right? But what you can't do is go in there and go, oh, you're doing it the wrong way, and I'm going to tell you how to do this now, right?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
that shit's so annoying, and I
It's
know,
super annoying.
yeah,
I
we
know
get
you
that
know
shit
it.
from
Yeah.
we get that shit from cis people all the fucking
I
time.
was just about to
Destiny,
say. Yeah.
oh, Destiny's shitty manifesto was basically all about that, right? Um, like me and Demon Mama and whatever, like we're bad for the trans activist and
Oh my
movement,
god.
and actually he's good for it, right?
Yeah, and shitting on
That was
capitalism
his whole
stuff.
fucking
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
I truly will never. It's to me it registered like if say for example I started talking about like the Black Panthers and someone just randomly chimed in to be like, well, actually Eldridge Cleaver was a rapist, and it's just like, okay, but that's weird. Like,
Yeah. No, it just is like that, right? Um, yeah, and I know white folks do that in black activism spaces as well.
oh for
And
sure.
I never want to be that person who goes into a fucking space like that and goes,
Oh, I
actually, I think you should do it this way. Like,
right.
it's just,
I think I even
yeah.
said as much to poly people. Like like as much as I like ride for trans people, especially black trans people, I definitely tread lightly when it comes to those topics, and I'm very unwilling to speak on things outside of my depth. I would much rather hand the microphone off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's basically the other important aspect of solidarity for me is understanding that because um, different axes of oppression affect different people differently, um, that, you know, and require different solutions and different strategies and stuff. That it's not, yeah, and autonomy being so important is that
Right.
people have to lead in their own
Give people
liberation. You
agency.
can't, yeah, give people agency. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's not a liberatory movement if the white savior comes in and says, "Hey, I'm."
Or the cis savior.
Yeah, yeah. Either way, it's
Right.
not. It's, yeah, that's not liberation. That's some other weird shit. I don't know. Now you're living life according to how they think you should be
It's
living it, and
just
that's
liberalism, I
dumb
guess. I
too.
don't know.
It sounds pretty fucking liberal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we covered a ton of topics, didn't we?
I'm
But
sure we could talk, yeah, forever.
I, well, I don't want to like take up your whole stream. I mean, like I said, I'm fucking insomnia at the moment, so
I
like
feel it.
I could stay, but I just want you to know that you can tell me to fuck off at any time. I don't want to.
I would never do that. I am having a blast right now. Everyone in chat seems like they're enjoying it. Thanks again for coming through and talking to me and dealing with me like a human being. It's really all I can say. It's my birthday. This was a cool birthday
It's your
present.
birthday.
Yes.
Oh shit, dude! I didn't even know. Happy birthday! How
Thank
old are
you.
you? If that's okay
33.
to
I
ask?
turned 33. Well, I turned officially 33 at 4:45 p.m. But call me.
Do you know how old I am? Do you want to take a guess?
I don't. I feel like that'd be really rude.
No, go for it. Go for it.
I would place you also like mid 30s, maybe early 40s.
Early 40s? Fuck you. I'm 33. I'm
33. We're
same
also
age as
okay.
you.
All right. I was like,
Same age
I don't
as
know
you.
if it's better to go over or under, but I,
Under every time.
under every
It's
time.
always-
This is like the same gaff I made at my first job. I was like, I was working at GameStop, and this woman came in right after this dude, and she was asking about him, like, have you seen a guy, blah 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 blah, and I was like, oh, he just went that way. You his mom? And she was like, I'm his sister. And my manager just started dying laughing, and I was so embarrassed.
It's amazing. No, don't worry. I'm not.
Thank you,
I'm not in the
pilot.
least bit offended. But yeah, shit. No, we're both 33.
Hell yeah, nice.
It's not so bad.
Number of
I'm gonna be.
creation. Yo,
Yeah.
thank you for the tip, Captain Jones. Well, when's your
Oh,
birthday?
hey, Captain A. Jones. Yeah, he's always been nice to me. I like Captain Jones.
Captain A. Jones
Um,
is always based for sure.
but yeah, I'm gonna be 34 in December,
In
which is
December.
actually a terrifying number because it's only 1 year away from 35, and then I'm on, then I'm like closer to 40 than 30, and that's, whew,
That's a
I
wild
don't know,
prospect.
right?
But I feel
Shit.
like
But you thought I was early 40s already, you asshole.
only based on your life experience. Literally, that's
You
literally it.
take a look at my picture. Does this look like a 40-year-old? Okay, whatever. That's
No, I
fine.
mean,
I'm over it.
I
I'm
was gonna
over
say
it.
no because black don't crack, and I know the hormones make you. You know what I mean? They shave like 10 years off of you.
I was gonna say I'm not black. That is a very white picture. I'm actually like quarter Japanese, but
Oh,
like that's that's about as much non-white as I have in me, and it definitely doesn't show.
one of my best
Like,
friends is like quarter. It's like I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like people say it and you're like, oh, okay, never mind. I see it now. Like my friend Mike, it was mad funny because I always thought he was just white, and then randomly, I forget how we even ended up talking about it, but he was like, "Oh nah, my bachan, I'm quarter Japanese," and I was like, "Oh," and then he showed me his middle name's Kenshiro and shit, and I was like, "Oh, now it makes so much
oh,
sense."
Kenshiro. Okay, 100% don't. Yeah, no, my grandma is Okinawan, so,
Okay, that's cool.
um, and she married an American, or she fucked an American at the very least. Um, yeah, produced my mother,
Mm.
and my father's from like Swiss Germany. Um, so he's like a hairy mountain man traveler dude,
That's
which
cool.
is it's a really interesting combo. But I was taken into care at like fucking 6 months old or some shit.
Mm.
So like that's just a biological history, and I
Oh,
don't
right
know.
on.
That doesn't really mean
Like
all that much to me,
culturally,
if you know what
yeah,
I mean.
I feel it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
more. Yeah. So I grew up in the UK. Like I've left the UK a few times. I've been different places. I went to study in Japan actually.
Nice.
I went to Hokkaido University to study Edo period arts and culture. So
That's really
history,
cool. I thought about
history stuff.
going over there to teach English as a second language for a while,
Hmm.
but
That seems to be the main job that like Anglophone folks take
yeah,
over there.
right,
Yeah, there seems to be a decent amount of work in that region. It can be harder to break into anything else if you don't speak the language,
right.
which like I've been learning for years, and it's a really it's like I can't speak
I was gonna say
fluently.
I
Yeah.
will readily admit that I'm just a fan of anime and I don't know anything. I have cousins that are pretty fluent in like Mandarin Chinese, but just because like they're a solid like 15 years younger than me, and I guess at some point they decided to put that in like private school curriculums. So
Really?
yeah,
Wow,
lots of
that's
kids
pretty
in
cool.
America. Yeah, I don't know if it's lots of kids in America or just the specific schools that my younger cousins went to. But like my two youngest cousins both speak Mandarin Chinese, and
God,
both of my stepsisters speak Mandarin Chinese. They're much
there's
younger than me.
like yeah, there's like one language that I that I've come across that I find more annoying than Japanese, and it's Chinese. And it's just
I
like,
get the four
yeah,
tones, like the four tones. I get that part, but everything else is completely lost on me.
totally reasonable. Yeah, no, because I guess at least China only uses, I forget what they call it, um, but kanji basically,
Yeah, right,
right?
right, right.
Because
The
yeah,
Japanese stole that from them, basically.
ye- Yeah, well, I mean, stole
Well, they it crossed.
derivative cultures,
Right. Yeah.
whatever. Like, but yeah. So Korea doesn't even use kanji anymore. They completely reinvented their writing system.
Hmm.
So now they have Hangul.
Hmm.
But Japan uses fucking hiragana, katakana. They use some English letters, which they call romaji, and and kanji. And it's just like, why? Why'd you do this? Just fucking stop, Jesus. But it's the tonal shit in Chinese. I think Chinese, like, yeah, kanji just fucking sucks anyway. Kanji are just shit. Why people? Why don't we just get rid of kanji? It's like 2022. Just
Just eat it.
fucking,
Just eat
just yeet that shit. Make the language phonetic and go from there. You know,
It makes
like
sense.
I will be looking at these fucking hieroglyphs, going, okay, so here's the radical for water, here's the radical for walking. So I guess must be water skiing. I don't know. Like, and what's the word for water skiing? I don't fucking know. It's not spelt out phonetically for me there. So all I have is the concept in my mind. I can't read this letter. It's just weird. Yeah, it's frustrating as all hell. Phonetic languages are the way forward. That's my
I
opinion.
feel it. I kind of try to start learning Arabic as well, but same deal. Like my brain just cuts right off when I have to read from right to left.
Is that not phonetic Arabic? I thought it
Is it?
was.
I'm not entirely sure.
Don't ask
It
me. I
might
don't
be.
fucking know. Honestly,
It might
I
be.
I thought it was.
I'm
Um,
just a dumbass American.
you know what I mean when I say phonetic, right? Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
not trying to.
like it's
Yeah,
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 yes. Instead of like the characters symbolizing entire like words or concepts, it's actually just like a sound that they represent.
yeah. So I think Arabic is that, but like I said, I could be super wrong about that. I don't know if there's anybody who speaks Arabic in chat, but
I think Nightwolf does, or
oh
Wolf
no,
of one of my mods, Wolf of
or we might have some.
Coronado.
Might yeah, I was thinking you might have some like Muslims in your community. If it's
That's
like
what's so cool, like
uh,
about this and everything too, is just like all the different people from. You know how to use. Captain A. Jones says they know how to use Arabic numerals. That's cool.
yeah, that's because Arabic numerals are the numbers that we use in English.
Oh,
He's doing a meme.
I've. Oh my God, you got me. You got me.
Fucking cringe ass meme. Oh
Oh
jeez.
my God, clipped and shipped. Thank you, Grimpy.
But so I don't know. We could talk about specific cults or something like that at some point. That would be
Yeah, for
interesting.
sure.
We can do
Whenever.
that sometime.
Yeah. I'm always down for
Do you
that.
ever
That
get
sounds
bored?
cool.
Because I never miss a chance to talk about Om Shinrikyo. I enjoy talking about them because nobody really knows much about them in the West, I think.
Yeah,
Everybody knows all about Jim Jones and fucking Heaven's Gate and shit. So.
right. Shinrikyo is very interesting to me, but I haven't really had a resource to really tell me about them either. Because my friend that I was talking
Yeah.
about earlier, occasional. I think he went to Japan like a couple years ago, and
Yeah.
because his house is kind of like like for our circle of friends, he's where we gather for like cookouts and stuff.
It's your home base.
Yeah, right. And we play cards at his house every Thursday, and we'll watch like Japanese news and stuff. But
Mm.
other than that, I haven't really.
And they will mention every once in a while. I mean, especially recently with the stuff that's gone on with the Unification
Oh
Church.
yeah, for sure.
People have been talking about Ohm a lot.
I've
And the
noticed
Unification Church have been like, oh, they're treating us like they treated Ohm, you know, because they want to make out that they're super persecuted.
that. Right.
But
That's like one of the pillars of cults, right? Like,
yeah.
or the
But like, it was just
mentality.
such a huge event for Japanese, for the Japanese culture, I guess.
I
It
can
was just
imagine
so massive.
Like you're even a former prime minister getting clapped is probably, especially for that reason.
Yeah. I mean, so the Unification Church aren't Om Shinrikyo. They probably have about as much money as Om Shinrikyo, and if they ever decide to start investing in a biochemical weapons
Sheesh.
program, we're going to be in the shit. But
Because that's the glamorous part that everybody who's got a passing interest in Shinrikyo knows about, but I definitely want to learn
yeah,
more from the perspective of somebody who actually understands cults.
oh, like what the sort of like members and stuff believed and
Right,
why they were going in there, and
right.
yeah,
Because there's a
I often
million
find that
YouTube videos on like sarin gas and tax and shit, but
yeah. Well, they didn't just use sarin. They did sarin gas. Sarin gas was used in the Matsumoto incident a year before the Tokyo subway attack as well. Um, and it was used obviously in the Tokyo subway attack. But they also used cyanide gas. They spread botulinum toxin around the prince's wedding. Didn't hurt anybody, luckily, as far as we know. They released anthrax spores over Tokyo.
wow.
Also didn't hurt anybody, as far as we know. But yeah, I mean, they had a pretty extensive bioweapons program, and they were trying to develop nuclear weapons at one point as well.
Sheesh.
But they also had their insane fucking, I don't know what you'd call it, like the brainwashing division or whatever, where they're like, yeah, I told you I don't like using that term, but like they were like injecting people with fucking LSD and using electric shocks to try and make them forget things that they'd seen. They carried out assassinations. They killed a journalist and his family. It's just mad shit. Mad shit that they got away with for so many years because they had people in the police. They had people. Money. Yeah, man, it's the money, and they were getting like spots on TV shows and stuff, right? And it all came out of a fucking yoga studio, dude.
A blind man in a yoga studio.
A blind man in a yoga studio. Man, it's so refreshing to like talk to somebody who actually knows who MxVivian even are. Yeah, blind man in a fucking yoga studio. And they put him on national TV and he'd start talking about prana and fucking kundalini and shit. And everybody's like, yeah, this seems like a really healthy way to live your life. And then they turn up to the compound and he's like, right, put on the electroshock cap.
What's that one meme with it's like, I lied, we're not actually watching The Wire.
We're not actually watching The Wire. Here's the electroshock cap. drink a glass of my bath water and let's get started. The original Belle Delphine.
Right. Oh my gosh. Rest in peace.
It was all about them being able to gain some aspect of the guru's like progress towards nirvana, some part of his power, right?
Right.
By ingesting his fucking bathwater, dude. And by putting on these electric headsets that would supposedly beam this stuff into their brains.
Did they do shit like I
gave children burns?
I think I remember they like shot themselves up with his blood too. Did they do that too?
You know, I wouldn't put it past them, but I don't remember that. It's possible they did, but that's not something that I remember. But yeah, all kinds of shit. Put him in a dark hole for ages. Shoot him up with LSD. No food or water. No sunlight. Tripping balls. Like, that shit's gonna fuck you up. You know?
Oh, hell yeah. I saw Altered States.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I think everybody was just trying to... I mean, originally it's just everybody's trying to reach a better plane of existence. You know, like the Rajneeshis. Do you remember the Rajneeshis? They did a pretty big... they did the biggest bioterror attack on US soil, actually. The Rajneeshis. But I don't think anybody died. Maybe some people did. But they put salmonella in like the food in local cafes.
My cousin just got over salmonella.
Yeah. Man, that shit's nasty.
Yeah, he said it was not fun, to say the very least.
But like if you put that in the food of like tens of thousands of people, I can't remember how many people were in that town.
Couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, right. Like the hospitals fill up, fucking the old people and the people who are already ill end up dying. Like that shit's fucking horrific. So they did that.
Yeah.
But anyway, point of mentioning that was like they were a yoga cult as well.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and it was all about reaching like higher stages of enlightenment, I guess, for Om Shinrikyo. And when you reach the highest stage of enlightenment, this is where stuff gets kind of crazy. You reach higher stages of enlightenment, and that gives you supernatural abilities. Like, I mean, everybody knows the levitation meme, right?
Yeah.
But also, did you know that the Russians are developing a secret energy weapon that can vaporize people inside of buildings without destroying the building? And if you reach a high enough level of enlightenment, you'll be able to resist this energy weapon. Like, did you know that? So it's that kind of stuff as well, right?
Of course.
All, and mixed in with like obviously the same old shit. Blood libel, protocols of the elders of
All right.
Zion. They
Yeah. The
declared
Zog
war on the
stuff.
Jews. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
always with the Zog stuff.
Naturally.
Um, but
Shout
yeah,
out to
you
Big
can,
Richie Lizzie. It always comes around to the international lizard people somehow.
and you'll be able to survive the coming apocalypse, right? And that's where the apocalyptic shit comes in. And so the chosen of Om Shinrikyo, who've reached this high level of enlightenment, will be there to rebuild the world. And they were supposed to be able to travel to Shambhala, which is like this mythical yogi kingdom, basically. It's mad shit. But yeah, I mean that's why people were like they get you in on the bottom rung. They're like, hey, this spirituality stuff's gonna improve your life a bit, right? And by the end of it, you're like, I must reach this higher level of enlightenment so that I can fend off the Russian super weapons. You know, like, just,
It just
yeah.
there's always this childlike wonder when you're like a kid that you might carry into adulthood, or like, I wonder if superpowers are actually real. I wonder if I could get superpowers.
Yeah, and I guess he really played on that. I mean, there was the anime, right? And Happy Science have a bunch of anime like that as well.
There's
Um,
the was it
yeah.
did you read Luther Strode? It was an Image comic. I have it. It's in my room. I don't feel like going to get it right now, but it's basically like this you know how like in magazines you would see stuff for like X-ray glasses and disappearing ink, that kind of stuff.
I don't think I did know.
It might be an American thing, but basically there would be in like like kids magazines and stuff. There would be advertisements for like fake shit that you would make your parents get for you, like vanishing ink or X-ray
Oh, that
sunglasses.
kind of shit. Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. Yeah. Well, one of these things in this comic was this like this book of like yoga that was like the Uber is like
Mm,
Uberman or something, that was this secret ancient like Chinese like yoga practice that you could buy, but it actually turns out to like work and like turns this like wimpy teenager into this giant hulking fucking completely invincible like perfect human elevated superhuman specimen that could like strangle people with his own intestines and like immediately heal from that and that kind of craziness. It's one of my favorite. It's Image Comics, so it's like insanely gory. Like he's like reaching like punching through drywall, grabbing people's heads and popping people's heads with his bare hands, and it's amazing.
telling you, yoga's dangerous. All right, stay away, kiddies. No, I got jumped on actually. Uh, Geez, it was like last year or something for making a semi-meme post about yoga being a gateway to fascism.
Oh
But it
god.
fucking is, dude. It fucking is.
Low key. At least
Low
also in
key, all
America,
that Kali
like
Yuga shit, fucking
yeah, like
Pastel Anon.
because it
Yeah.
also like the culture of it gets completely whitewashed, and when that type of shit
Mm.
happens, that's almost inevitable. Yo, what up, famous horse?
But yeah, I have no problem chatting with Pyro Tyrant for a while if because it sounded like you were fixing to maybe get him
Yeah,
in
yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
I because I
I've got to go refill my water because it's actually fucking still really hot over here. We've got heat wave after heat wave, and my mouth is really
yeah,
dry.
I can imagine. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that.
We got no fucking AC
I
over
was gonna
here
say
either,
you
dude.
guys are not
We
prepared for
don't.
that shit.
Yeah, like we had 100-degree heat with no fucking aircon. I
Mm.
felt like I was dying, dude. I'm not used to that kind of heat either, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm a filthy fucking no melanin Angloid. Okay, like I cannot cope. I cannot cope.
A snow beast. But
A
nah,
snow beast.
even I'm
Yeah.
not really used to that. There was a day that was like 105 on the dock. I actually had to like go in the
Oh,
office and like chill for a minute because I got a headache. It's because I wasn't drinking enough water. But
I on the day there was like 2 days in a row where it was like nearly 100. It was over 100 in my house, which is
oof,
where I was.
that's no good.
Um, and literally, I was going to the bathroom fully clothed, right? Getting the shower head and just like fucking putting it full cold, right?
I've
But
done
just
that.
spraying it over me, and then going back and sitting down, and I'd be dry in like 10 minutes, like
Before I
just
got my
fully clothed.
AC in here, what I would do is before stream, I would, because I have my dreadlocks, I would shower up after work, get ready for stream, but then I would turn the water on like full cold and then just like run it through my dreadlocks and let my
Gotta do
hair,
it, man.
let my hair soak with the cold water and then just sit at the computer to start stream. And by hour two, I'd be
Damn.
completely dry.
I got pretty long hair, but it's not thick enough, right? So like my hair would just dry out way too quickly. I,
Yeah.
I was doing that, but it'd be dry 10 minutes, bone dry. Anyway, if you drag pyro in, I'll
Yeah.
go and get myself a glass of water and
Right on. I'm also gonna
I'll be
run and
right
grab
back.
something really quick too. Thanks for coming through,
That
Viv. I
seems
really
reason.
appreciate you.
Yeah, no worries. I hope I was everything I'm cracked up to be.
Wait,
Absolutely.
wait, wait.
All right, I'll be right back.
Oh shit! I didn't know you was black. Black. You got the fucking cornrows and shit. Damn, chill.
I didn't know you was actually black.
Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta grab something really quick.
All right, so it's just me and Chad. What's up, Chad? I'm about to serenade Chad with my propaganda. I got you real good. So here's the thing. Endless is wrong about everything, right? Oh, I'm just some guy that hops in his fucking chat time to time. Yeah, Captain A. Jones know me. Like, there's some people who know me in the community that hop around. I'm a mysterious figure that pops up from time to time, and I grace you all with my presence. Not a good presence, but it's a presence. It's not my fault they want to leave y'all with me.
I had to grab my bottle of water.
Just teaching
Shit, my
you're right.
headphones
You
got
guys are
fucking
meeting the
cable.
mythos, right? Just ask Captain A. Jones, right? I'm the man, the myth, the legend, the Wizard of Weed. I'm Pyro. That's all you need to know. You'll see me on a random panel just talking to some random person.
All right, I can hear you
I'll
now.
be. Oh,
What
I'm
up,
just
Pyro?
educating you. What's up? I'm just educating your chat on like the myth of Pyro, the legendary figure that swoops in on a cloud of fucking smoke with his bong, his
Right.
trusty bong.
That's actually just what I went to go do. Hit the bong real quick and grab my water.
Oh, my man's push. He didn't hit that shit on stream.
I'm chilling out for a little while at least because I got the haters. You know what
You know what? Fuck the haters.
I mean?
You know what? Hate? Nah, let me stop. I'm about to get nah. Haters aren't. Hey, haters are good for one thing, and that's just boosting your ego. Especially,
Facts.
especially when
Haters
you
is
write.
motivators.
Yeah, especially when you write.
Oh, it's
Nah,
fucking
bro.
pyro.
Haters can get chopped.
Oh, good. It's Viv. It's been so long, so like, I just get to hate British scum on UK island. And not that Viv is scum. She's actually pretty cool. She's a cool person.
I was
Like she
gonna
was right
I
up
was
say,
my
about to
you know
say
you
wheelhouse,
love
bro.
the
me.
British were the first to, you know what I'm saying, first to abolish slavery. Chill out.
Shut the fuck up, bro. Fuck the British. Fuck the British. Yo, don't get me started on the fucking British though. Fuck them British. They ain't got no fucking seasoning on their food because the Queen outlawed it. I mean, what the fuck is
The
up with
beats were
that? A
insane though.
monarchy?
Trap beats were insane though.
Trap beats were insane. Yeah, that was that. We don't count that, okay?
Why? Because it's the black people.
Yes, exactly, right?
Okay,
Where did
all
those black people come from? Did they willingly walk to a part of the planet with no fucking sun, no
Boy,
seasoning, fucking
boy,
shit
listen,
in the
boy,
rivers?
listen here. All right, we see we season our food in my fucking house. Okay,
What do you season with the tears of like, veterans from World War II? I don't, that doesn't count. Like, just leave the sewers, okay?
I'd be pretty
Like,
based if they were German veterans.
right,
But like,
bruh. Yeah,
right.
yeah, that
but
would
like,
be.
no.
It's
I
been a
love
minute. Like, Viv knows I love her, though.
Yeah.
I love my world foods. Okay, I like cooking stuff from all over the place.
I was
So
gonna say,
like
you
my
guys probably got some really fucking dope Indian food out there. I would imagine.
um, it's hit and miss because we've
Really?
also got that like, yeah, because like we tend to, and I'm sure you do this in the United States as well, but we tend to anglicize the fuck out of like
Yeah.
foods that come over
Yep.
here. Like the Chinese food is not proper Chinese food.
Right. Same here.
A lot of the Indian food isn't proper Indian food.
It's gentrified
So like,
Indian food.
yeah, there's like
Bro,
the
like-
main menu that everybody kind of orders off of. That's like fucking chicken tikka, korma, whatever, right?
Fake
And then
runners talk about the spotted dick.
The spotted. Listen,
hey,
what's the
Spotted
point
Dick's
of
really fucking good, actually. Don't be dissing Spotted Dick. It just has a dumb name.
The
Right?
toad in the
what's the-
hole smacks.
what's the point
Toad
of
in
being
the hole
a-
does smack.
What's the point of being a world hegemon if you can't just steal other people's food and then name it some of the dumbest garbage I've ever heard in my life? I could make some shit up right now, and you wouldn't know if I was lying to you right now. Like you got the Bob's
made,
your uncle smackaroo, you don't know if I made that shit
I
up.
made a dish. I made a dish the other day. That's a really interesting product of colonialism, called kedgeree. And
Don't-
kedgeree is
What
like
is kedgeree?
okay. So you know the British colonized the fuck out of India, right?
Right.
Correct.
Cool. Yeah, we were dicks to the Indians, all right. And while we were over there, like, so back in the like 1800s, the traditional English breakfast is like dried fish, right? Mackerels, kipper, stuff like that. Have a kipper for breakfast, right?
Why am I not fucking surprised? Honestly, why am I not? It's only the British could be like, "Oh, what do you want for breakfast, love? Oh, yes, a dried fucking salty fish. That's gonna do right nice."
In all fairness, like salt cod was pretty fucking popular in America at the time.
I was
Like,
just gonna say.
dried fish is a really kind of popular food
You know
for
what?
that period.
That's like a
because-
America
Jamaican, like
was-
the fried
America was
saltfish.
colonized by
Yeah.
the British. Okay, like
yeah, man, you dissing on the ackee and saltfish, okay? That shit's amazing.
it's
Anyway,
none of that British saltfish because that shit ain't even got no seasoning. It's just salt rubbed on
the
it.
shit ain't got no ackee because that shit's fucking poisonous. Kill you. Anyway, look. Point being, don't get me started on dissing Jamaican food because most of it's fucking amazing. But like, okay, kedgeree. Okay, so what they did was like they mixed it with like the stuff that they have in India. So you might have smoked or dried kipper and eggs, right? But the Indians, they have rice and like curry seasonings and shit. So the British who were over there were just like, well, fuck it, let's just smush this shit together. So you basically get rice that you cook in stock and like some kind of meat or vegetable stock and curry spices, and then
80
mix in
years.
fish to it and put a fucking egg on top, and it's so good, dude. You have
World
to
War
try it. It's
II
really good.
has been over for 80 years, and y'all still eating shit called kedgeree.
Well, no. That's what I mean. That's what I mean, though. It's not exactly a popular dish nowadays. I wanted to make it because, like, one, I love smoked fish, and two,
Smoked fish. is
I
good.
love curry, and I was just like, I want to try this. I want to try this dish from like the colonial years. I want to give it a shot, and it's pretty tasty. I can recommend kedgeree.
I can't even lie. I've tried dishes from like colonial era America, and I gotta say, like, the one thing I respect about like just them old niggas in general is that they had to have fucking balls of steel to eat some of the shit they did. Because God, that shit was fucking terrible, bruh.
Really, I would say the opposite, man. I'd say they had some fucking terrible ingredients, like salt
Yeah.
pork, for example. Salt pork does not taste nearly
You
as good
see,
as like
you see how
other
these two
stuff.
things aren't mutually exclusive, though. They had terrible ingredients and they did
They
what they
had
could.
terrible
But
ingredients, and they
Jesus
made them
Christ,
taste. They made them taste fucking brilliant.
they
If you
made
eat
them
salt
things
pork on its
edible.
own, it's
Bro,
fucking horrific.
Vivian. I'm talking from the modern perspective of a nigga that's been coddled with the French toast with the little shit made inside, and it's like, lick your fingers, delicious. And then I'm comparing it to
Pretty
fucking
sure French toast is a
hard
British.
attack and honey.
French toast is
No,
British. That's
Pretty
just
sure
funny.
French toast is a British invention.
I'm just
by
talking.
The way.
I'm just
Just
talking
saying.
about.
While you're slagging off my country's cuisine, I thought I might just mention.
Yo, listen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know, I'm not even gonna lie because I'm a historian. I can't lie. The British colonized the world, and then y'all dropped the fucking ball like a bunch of fucking losers, and America picked it up, and now that's what we're gonna complain about. The British
Ah,
Empire. Who? The sunset. Go to
good,
sleep. Tell
good.
your queen it's time to let it go.
French is
I love how you
toast.
say. I love how you say this like I'm supposed to be annoyed about it. Nah, good.
Oh, I'm not
Not
Viv.
the British Empire.
Vivian, that's the best part about like me ribbing on you. I get to do it just freely, and it's not like, oh, how dare you, mate? At least our
Excuse-
schools ain't like Call of Duty.
I
Like,
say, what did you just bloody well say about the Queen?
I say the Queen has done so much
How
for the
very
country.
dare you?
In it.
I swear to God, innit, I'd really bop you on the knocker if I was there. You're a real wanker, you are. No, like,
Fuck
I'm
Queen.
trying to say American and British solidarity. Trap beats are the best beats. The UK drill beats. UK drill beats hit different. Way different.
I like how out of everyone here, Endless is trying to build this bridge. No, there will never be
It's
American.
not my-
British
it's not-
sorry.
solidarity.
I forgot. I'm the anti-race mixing guy. I'm sorry.
That's not my kind of music, honestly.
Right on. I mean, I listen to a lot of different music. I listen to death metal, black metal, hip hop, punk, grindcore. That's probably my favorite. Like some of my favorite bands are from the UK, like Carcass, Napalm Death, Extreme Noise Terror. I was super into.
You gotta watch out for those metal bands, though. Some of them be Nazi now.
Oh hell yeah! That's so.
That's
that's
a real-
actually
real
like
problem.
how that was like my arc was you know, I was super into like Godflesh and shit too. But I've been playing punk and like metal since I was like 14, and it was always just kind of that one of those fringe things that I thought existed, but I would never really encounter. But when I started playing in like more prominent bands in the scene, I guess you could say, I was in this band called Bestial Evil, and I'll link you the article to it. But to make a very long story short, two of the members of the band were Wolves of Vinland, and I didn't know
Fun.
I didn't know what that shit was when they first joined at the time. But after I quit behind some other shit, I found out what it actually was. Started blowing the whistle, fucking ended up beating the shit out of one of them in Roblox.
I had a similar experience, dude. It's what
Yeah.
got me into like anti-fascism.
Yes, I mean, same.
Wait, sorry, I'll let you finish. I'll tell you mine.
Oh no, yeah, but through them, because the one dude in the band was also going to this MMA gym that was run by the head of Maryland Skinheads, and there was just so many intersections of just like all these different neo-Nazi organizations in the Mid-Atlantic that this dude was like directly involved in, that I got directly exposed to and got into you know, physical altercations with, allegedly, and you know, almost got fucking stabbed, almost got shot, like all this crazy shit, and you know,
I guess messy fast.
yeah, it does. But then, you know, like you were saying, you get tired of fucking laying your body on the line, and you want to figure out different ways and more effective ways to solve the problem, and then your focus becomes less on
I
combating
just got ill
them.
and couldn't do it anymore. I'd love to.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I'd love to
yeah,
be out there punching Nazis still.
Oh,
I feel that.
I'm just proudly a coward. Like I'm not laying my body down.
I would,
I'm sorry.
I would
No.
love to do that, but my finger's still broken. But also, fucking, I'll go to jail, so I don't want to do that. And
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
bruh.
that is
Nah,
another thing.
listen. No,
yeah,
like
I
my
want to go to
grandmother
jail.
made sure she gave me like the good old death talk. Like, no, thank you. I think I'm good with the good old fashioned ass wagon. Right, when things get tough, you just hitch up and you move. Like, no, thank
But
you.
but so for me, and so it's like,
Y'all the real
so
ones. Y'all the real G's.
I told you I was like taken into care at like 6 months, right? So like, there's a lot of shit in between there and when I get 16. But it's safe to say when I'm 16, I'm in a children's home, in like the most white rural area in England there is, right? Um, and like I've had very little contact with like people of other races and communities by that point, apart from like a few of the black kids and a Sikh kid that came through the children's home. Um, and at that point, to me, like I knew that the Nazis were a thing, but that was about it, right? Like they were a thing. It was historically something that happened, and it was horrible. And just
oh
move on.
right, yeah.
So yeah. So like when I start coming out of the children's home, I start hanging out with the local punk scene. Um, and there's this dude that I like hung out with him and some of his friends. They had a band. I went to go see them play. He played this song called "Lipstick Nazi Girl" for his girlfriend.
Oh
Didn't
my
even fucking
god.
didn't even fucking click for me then, right? I'm just fucking ignorant white kid at that point and no fucking idea. I just thought they were like being edgy, using it as an aesthetic, right?
Right.
Um, and like
Because
they
that was
wear
like kind
fucking
of common, you know what I
swastikas
mean?
and
Like
shit.
Susie Sue and them
Yeah.
did that shit.
Yeah, right. Like I saw some of the old punk bands wearing fucking swastikas and shit, and I was just like, "Well, yeah, it's just an aesthetic. I mean, obviously they're not actually racist, right?" And like, and then one day I'm like sitting in the city center, and this Muslim couple walks by, right? The lady in a hijab, the dude's like wearing fuck, I can't remember what they're called, but the smock, the robe. Um, and they just start hurling abuse at this couple and like threw a fucking empty beer can at them and shit. And I'm
Sheesh.
just like, I'm ashamed to say at the time I didn't do anything, right? I was just kind of shocked. I was just like, these dudes that I've been hanging out with that I thought were like kind of chill, nice dudes, and they're just like completely losing it at this
Well, I mean,
Muslim
that's how
couple.
they get you, though, is they convince
Yeah,
you that they're cool and you're outnumbered. So, I mean, what could you really have
yeah.
done?
I was just an ignorant fucking child, basically. I had
Right.
no idea that these ideologies were even like a thing.
That's where
Um,
I give you the credence. Like you were a child. You weren't like one of
Right.
these you
Right.
weren't like one of these grown ass professor dudes trying to be like, well, you see the symbolism in a Nazi lipstick girlfriend is that you see she's bad and Nazis are considered bad, but they don't exist anymore, and that's why he says the girlfriend. Like, no, you were just a fucking kid who were hanging around some friends.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. But when that happened, right? Like, I stopped hanging out with those dudes after that because I was just like, I didn't like it, right? I was like, why the fuck are you picking on these people? I don't like. I got bullied like a fair bit in the children's home sometimes. When I was younger, once I started punching people back, they left me alone. But like when I was younger, I got bullied fucking horribly, about age 11 to like 14 or something,
Mm.
really bad. And I just didn't like it. I thought it was fucking horrible. So I just kind of stopped hanging out with them. Found some more people, fell in with a couple of dudes who were like skinheads. Um,
Mm.
and they pretty much initiated me into the whole anti-fascist scene.
The sharps.
They were like sharps, yeah,
Yeah.
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 So they pretty much initiated me. Started going to protests and stuff. Back then it was like EDL, BMP,
Okay.
and yeah, and then I think it was like maybe a year and a half or something after this whole incident with the Muslim couple. Um, uh, they uh, they phoned me up and invited me to go to one of their gigs because I'd never said anything to them. I just hadn't spoken to them in fucking ages. They phoned me up, asked me to go to one of their gigs. I was just like, fuck this shit. And I told my other friends, and we phoned up the pub, the bar where they were supposed to be playing the gig, and the owner didn't give a shit. He was just like, "Yeah, okay, mate." So we turned up there on the day that they were supposed to be there and like trashed their amps as they came out with their fucking van. Yeah. And that's how I came full circle and feel like I redeemed myself by hanging out with those fuckers. But yeah, smashed their amps so they couldn't play. Fucking broke a couple of expensive guitars as well. That was pretty bad.
See, like, I don't have the awesome story you guys do where, like, y'all realize and y'all did some shit. Like, the only experience I have is, like, I was in this D&D, like, after, like, school group, and I made friends with this one kid, and he was a part of Adam Waffen.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and at the time, I'm stupid, I'm young, and I'm in high school. I don't know what the fuck Atom Waffle is or what they were doing, messing with waffles during, the Manhattan Project. And, I play a bit of Warhammer. So, like, when I see the patches and shit, I'm like, oh, it's a Warhammer nigga. And he's just really, really into the LARP. And I remember this so specifically because, like,
I mean, you weren't wrong.
yeah, right? Like, I wasn't wrong on half of it. But, like, I remember the day I realized, because it's the day we all realized, and it's the day that D&D Club got canceled. Because, like, we were playing... Canceled, like, just outright, they canceled it, ended
We'll
the whole
see
club.
who cancels who, woke liberals.
Oh, no, you'll see. Like, this guy... We got into, like, some heavy fucking RP, and, like, we beat this boss, like, amazing fucking, silver dragon shit. It was amazing. And then we had to split the loot. And you know how Nazis are, they're selfish, right? This one, Asian kid playing as like a half elf wanted this mystical item. I forget what it was. And he was like, no. And like as they kept butting heads over it, this dude got progressively more and more racist and the mask started to slip.
Oh no.
And like at the end, like he said, you're not getting that. I'm better than you. And then like the kid was like, no, you're not. Like the stats say right there, the rolls and blah, blah, blah. And then the dude's like, I'm not talking about that. I'm better than you. Like I'm getting that. Like I deserve it. And then we're just like, what? It's just like he just goes on this fucking rant, like, yeah, I'm better than him. Like we all know it, right? Like I thought that's how this worked. Because previously, like he would just lay claim to shit and then like no one would fight him on it.
Imagine using like I don't know. Let's pretend that all this shit was real, right? And you're like, and the racial hierarchy exists, and you use your privilege as the highest rung, right? As a member of the master race to get a slightly better item in D&D. How fucking petty is that?
Yeah.
I mean, well, that's what they want to do at the end of the day. You know what I mean? They want to own all the jalapeno poppers and divvy them out. As
can't forget the tendies.
All the tendies. They lay claim to all tendies and glizzies.
We lay claim to all tendies and glizzies, and any French fries found in the backseat are mine.
All right, what the fuck is a glizzy?
Absolute fucking mess.
Who's gonna explain the glizzy?
Yeah, you want to take that one, Dr. K?
I ain't touching that. Sorry.
You see, Vivian, the glizzy is what is referred to as a cum. There you go.
What?
A glizzy is
I don't know.
Have you ever been down at the beach and you seen those little hot dog looking things on the plants?
What the fuck are you talking about?
You see, when we refer to glizzy, it's an online terminology. It's usually the cum that runs down the male's penis. They call it glizzy. And sometimes when we refer to females, it's the cum that runs down the vulva.
Can you put a little bit more emphasis on the C word? I really want to hear that pop
I'm just
in the
gonna fucking
microphone.
Google this shit.
The cum, you see. It's the cum. It's all about the cum. The cum makes the glizzy.
Listen, I just love the sentence Nancy Reagan Glizzy Gladiator of the Year. Like that's gonna be
it's slang for a hot dog, apparently.
It's time for a nice glizzy dog, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely a bit of a hot dog, you're right.
Yeah. Alright. Also for a Glock, apparently. Yeah.
That's a Glock with a extendo. You know, what I mean, that's a glizzy.
That's also a glizzy.
The hot dog. You put some ketchup and mustard on it, and you throat goat it. You give it to Nancy Reagan.
Okay. All right then. Hey, you learn something new every day.
The glizzy was just another name for a hot dog in DC, at least. I don't know how it spread to
Yeah.
the rest of the world, but I'm gonna help
Bro.
proliferate that.
I'm sorry, what? Nah, bro. I'm from like the East Coast. That is not what glizzy means, bro.
The first time I ever encountered the word was a video of a guy saying "free glizzies" and he bites into one of those things, the little
Oh,
reeds,
yeah,
and it gets
explodes
everywhere.
in his mouth. Yeah,
Exactly.
found some wild glizzies.
Oh, y'all is pure. Y'all is children. I feel like I've sinned now, bro. Like I've just introduced y'all to a world y'all do not know of.
Damn, you're so
Nah,
cool
you
and
walk
edgy,
in
my
there.
dude.
There's a TikTok
Buffalo.
that was mad funny. It's like the skit where he's like, "Can I get a hot dog?" Bro, he's like, "Oh, you John want a Glock in here? You a foul little youngin."
Bruh.
Oh shit! Can we
Bruh.
we
You
get a
John want a Glock
moment?
in this drum.
Oh
Can we get a moment of silence for our beloved journalist who fell in the line of duty, Daria Dugan?
Oh,
Yeah.
rip.
Yo, she didn't fall. Like that's insulting. She got blown the fuck up.
I mean, I assume she came down eventually in pieces.
That's
Hey,
I hear-
Shinzo Abe her ass. Damn.
Yeah, I hear they just recently erected a brand new gender-neutral bathroom in Russia.
Damn.
Listen, you guys, as the liberal here, we're not gonna condemn the death of racist
But-
war criminals because
I'll be
that
real,
would
I'll be
be
real, right?
wrong.
I'm-
You would be equally
I would
wrong.
You just
actually-
sound like
Posit-
sound like Wick right now.
No, I'll be real. I'm not the kind to be like, rest in fucking shit, right? At least usually. And so when I hear about that, I'm just more like, yeah, fascist piece of shit bites it. Time for me to go
Yeah,
about my day.
I was gonna
Coffee's
say,
up,
I
fresh
don't
in the
know.
pot.
I don't know if it's possible to be both dead and a Nazi, but if not, congratulations to her recent change in worldview.
Damn.
By the way, I remember getting a lot of flack for not caring about Ukraine and Russia.
That's what I mean. Danabo tried to come at me when I said, like, I literally said, as a member of the global proletariat, all solidarity with the working class and impoverished people in Ukraine who are most affected by what's happening. That said, I drive past people spanging, fucking illing and overdosing in the sidewalk and shit on my daily commute every fucking day. I don't give a fuck about Ukraine. And Danabo flipped that into it's weird flex to say you don't care about children being shelled. And it's like, okay, that's what I said.
It's one hyper nationalist, like revanchist country beating up on a smaller hyper nationalist revanchist country
Yeah.
that's
Right.
slightly more
Hey,
liberal.
they were
And-
making-
yeah,
they
And
were making
ultimately,
some
there's a
changes.
bunch of workers caught in the middle.
the
Exactly.
problem
Yeah.
is the problem is I just don't give a fuck. That's on the other side of the planet. Like that's the thing that got me. I don't care if it's a marginalized. I don't care.
No,
bro.
it's
Like,
a terrible thing that's happening, but you're right. Like, I've got
For sure.
more
it's
pertinent stuff to
terrible,
focus
it's
on.
awful in my perfect world, but literally I could give less of a fuck.
Well,
Yeah, another thing.
I would have to take the other side of that and say that like
I mean, you
solidarity
have
is
to.
fucking international, brother.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Solidarity with socialists
Every
disrupting
single-
both sides, but
Well, I mean, I said
not a
this
lot
at
I
the
can
start
do.
of the. I said this really near the start of the conflict as the Zelensky hero worship was starting.
That
to
was
flare
weird
up.
as fuck. That was weird.
That is weird as fuck.
started.
And I said,
Going.
I said, yeah. I said, like, fuck all this Zelensky shit, right? Like, if all of these conflicts, there's so many fucking people that get absolutely fucking like destroyed by it, right? And there are not even just the people who get killed, the people who have to see all the trauma, the people who get displaced, homeless, blah 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 blah. Right?
Mhm.
It is a thing that affects the world. One, it's affecting us like in terms of energy, right? Like my electricity bills now are £5 a fucking day, okay, and they're going up again soon. That's like $8.
Are
right,
y'all
a
gas
day at the
prices, the
moment.
petrol prices out there crazy?
Yeah, they're fucking insane.
I don't know.
I don't know how I'm going to be able to
I haven't
afford to
filled
live
up in
because they're
years.
about to double it again.
Oh
It's
my
going to be
goodness.
it's going to be getting on for £10 a day.
10p
which
a
is
day.
£10, with 10
Yo,
Great
10
British
pounds.
pounds sterling, which is about $15-16 a day
Yeah.
spending on electric, right? Like, I can't fucking afford that shit. I'm like,
Yo,
yeah,
that's 1,000
so
rupees,
it's
dude.
terrifying.
Wow.
1,000 rupees.
Dude,
Fuck
that's
out of
almost
here.
holy shit, dude.
Jesus Christ.
It's a lot of look, okay, take the piss, but it's a lot of money, right? And it's affecting oil and gas prices in the United States as well. But also, like, we have refugees that we need to take in and that we need to
Yeah.
care for, right? Refugees that are being taken advantage of.
See,
by
that makes sense
fucking-
why you would care over there, because that's you guys. That's where they're
Yeah,
coming,
see-
like the refugees. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we don't
like-
really get
like-
refugees like that here in
See,
America.
that's why the reason I give is like it's not just I don't care. Like if some shit was happening like to our border, like I would have to give a fucking fuck. I'm on the other side of the literal fucking planet, my guy. Like,
Well, I mean,
there's no further way away from me. Like I can't do shit, bro. My government.
so you've
can.
taken
Cool.
you've taken
I feel
100,000 Ukrainians, right?
I was
like,
gonna say,
If MAGA, listen, they did it with the fucking Afghans, and I spoke to niggas who directly worked there, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, doing
So,
good shit. We need to take more. We need to treat them right. If we want to do that with Ukraine, same thing.
I'll say this because this was
Uh-uh.
actually my criticism of the stuff that Dylan Burns is doing, and this was actually what I was going to talk to Talworks about earlier tonight. Shout out to Talworks. Is that if I could, hell yeah, I'd send a $20 bill, or I'd send a bill here and there over to, if there was some like anarchist organizations like the Frontline Medics that we've seen, you know what I mean, aid workers, people actually.
There's anarchist organizations fighting on the front lines as well.
Right, yeah. I would absolutely, out of my paycheck, send them like a $10, $5, whatever I could spare, if I could. But the only links that I see to send money to on Dylan's fucking videos is to tip him. So that's cool.
Hey, wait, he is an anarchist in Ukraine right now.
Dylan
What?
Burns is an anarchist.
I did tell you I was a stand-up comedian, right? I'll be here all week, folks.
But yeah, no, I think you have to care, and I think you have to care partially,
Sorry.
you know, not just out of like altruism or inter-community solidarity or whatever, right? But because a lot of the key players in this particular conflict and a lot of the reasons that it's happening, right, are part of like what's going on in the United States, what's going on with the rise of fascism around the fucking world.
Azov
So
and
you,
stuff.
you have to care.
No,
Wagner
I
Group.
would counter that with this. I
You
just
had
want-
you
I
had.
just have a question.
Sorry, Wolf. Just one sec. Let me finish this one thing, and then yeah. You had, prior to the invasion of Ukraine, and during it, in fact, you had white nationalists from the United States going out to Ukraine to fucking train with neo-Nazis over there, right?
The
You've
Nazi
got
Army
white
Training
nation-
Organization.
Yeah. So you have to care because this shit is international. You can't.
I mean,
not.
I do care. It's just like
Those
there
chickens
is
always
no
come home
large
first.
player
Yeah.
that's, there's no large player that's, not
I mean,
a weird nationalist or, liberal government.
Anyway, I think
And,
Wolf wanted to say something. I'm sorry, I cut him off, so I feel bad.
It's alright, it's alright. My thing about this is, here's the thing. The reason why I avoid discussion of Russia and Ukraine is because my take is always simple. States exist to create hierarchies. Right? Whichever state it is, whether it is Russia, Ukraine, India, Pakistan, whatever state exists out there. Right? I somehow managed to piss off a lot of liberals, especially, those Zelensky people who, fetishize Zelensky, right?
Yeah.
They always used to come at me and they used to be like, hey, you're a brownie, you're an Indian dude, you live in slums, you're this and that, we never care about you. Here's the thing. We never had any involvement in this conflict and we don't want to care about it. They never cared about us when we were getting suppressed by fascists in India.
Yeah.
We shouldn't. It's the same thing. Again, don't
I
get me
mean,
wrong.
even you have to care, right? Because of fucking Modi. Like,
I am against Modi.
I-
Don't get me wrong. I'm against Modi. I go out and I shout, "Go back, Modi!" all the time. I'm an ethnic minority in my own country who is at the risk of getting displaced, right? But here's the thing. when I already have a big issue in my country which is directly affecting me, not gas prices. Gas prices have come down in my country, right? Should I care about the fascists in my country, or should I just, ignore the fascists and care about, like two people fighting each other? And that too, both of them are idiots. Like
I,
Zelensky is a
I,
person.
I, I agree with you,
Here's
but
the
you
thing.
have to recognize how the fascists in your country are connected to the fascists in these countries.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I can see both points, right? Because I know
Yeah.
black people who would say the same thing, like where the fuck was Ukraine
Mhm.
during the '60s? You know what I mean? But at the same
Yeah.
time, like Viv and I were talking about earlier, like you purely strategically, you're cutting yourself off from potential allies if you. Because that's why I was saying, like, if there was like anarchist organizations or whatever that I could support and build solidarity with, I would absolutely do that. It's just that a lot of the fucking war tourist journalists are that's not the intent of what their body of work is. The
Yeah,
closest
yeah.
I
You should
I
follow. You should check out Jake Hanrahan. I don't know if he's actually even been over to Ukraine, but he's
For
done
me,
coverage of the anarchist organizations fighting on the front lines in
for
the
me,
US.
I just like object to the fact that like I have to care. Like I understand that like fascism is this international ideology that spans everywhere and like we have to fight it on that front. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I'm not an international nigga. I do not span the globe. Like
Okay,
I
okay.
like
Maybe you guys are misunderstanding me.
well, no, let me finish real quick. It was just like I can't. I like just like this is, I cannot like
damn
at,
Jake Hammerhand
like
did a documentary on 3D printed firearms. That's cool. I gotta check
Yeah,
that
We're
out.
it's
poor
just,
Jay
people with
Stark's dead
limited
now.
range.
That's sad. But
but
what?
it,
No, fucking whatever. 3D printed firearms based. Look, I think you
there's
guys
a
are. I think you guys are misunderstanding me, right?
I didn't
When I
even get
say
to finish
care,
my point, let alone
okay,
misunderstand.
okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I
Let
get it.
Vivian speak. Let Vivian speak
He
first.
was in the Channel 5. That's what I thought because I was going to say the Channel 5 video is the closest I've seen to them actually showing that work getting done and like how you can help. I'm sorry, I had to
Hmm.
chat literally fucking put a new wrinkle in my brain right there.
Yeah, Jake Hanrahan's a good wrinkle to have. Um, so
Yeah.
when I say you should care, I don't necessarily mean that you have to be a fucking international person and do shit around the world, right? What I mean is that in order for you to fight the fight in your own place, you you have to you have to encompass the understanding of what's happening in other places,
I
right?
disagree with that.
Well, I just don't think, like,
Let speak. Let
especially
her
if
speak.
you live in the United States, right?
We live in
If
the
you live in the
imperial core,
United
yeah.
States
I kind
and
of see
you
where Viv
don't
is coming from.
you don't fucking understand what's going on with Dugan, with Steve Bannon on an international fucking level, right? If you don't get that shit, then you're not in a good place to be able to counter what's happening on your home soil.
Yeah, no, I just don't believe that. I believe if
Okay.
you don't I believe if you don't understand the shit that's happening on your home soil, sure. Well, I believe just generally like yeah, nah, we could give less of a fuck what politicians do abroad over states. And
Well,
Steve
when they
Bannon
do,
not
Steve
everyone in a
Bannon's on a
movement
fucking
has to be a well-traveled intellectual.
well, that's what I
no,
was about to say
That
before I
too.
got
right,
cut
but
off.
I'm sorry.
we're all on here talking about it right now. I'm not talking about some rando anarchist foot soldier who just wants to like do food drives and look after their local community. I'm talking about people who are like talking about this shit online,
Right.
right? Like I feel like you have to care
Here's the
because you
thing.
need to see the connections.
I would agree with that.
Connections, yes, but here's the thing. A person like
Hmm.
me who wants to abolish all hierarchies in the entire subcontinent, in what sense should I, care about people who want to create another hierarchy by removing one? Like, how does that make sense?
This is tough
I'm
because
I'm not sure what you're. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say because I think I understand what you're driving at, and this is so a really like a book that really helped me understand that situation is a book called Black Shirts and Reds by like Michael Parenti, which kind of explains
Great
like
book.
for countries not in the imperial core, like essentially people or countries that like states that might be subject to subjugation by imperialist powers, they have to put in certain measures that would seem like more or less authoritarian to us from our privileged positions. Like, he talks about like I guess like the fantasy of the revolution, where like 0.06 seconds after the revolution happens, you live in a perfect utopian society that is communism and like free of hierarchy, the actual perfect moneyless, classless society that is talked about. But it's not really like, you just can't do that, especially when another global power that has like 30 fucking times your GDP could just clap you at any moment. So you almost have to, it's like the way I envisioned it, and that's the kind of language I use like tactically, is like you're at war, like you're literally at war doing battle with the fascists, and they're winning at all times. They're winning because they're waging total war, and they're waging war in every imaginable way. They have, bases of operation. They have like the police are the troops, and so on and so forth. So like the way that you have to imagine that is like, okay, the revolution or whatever happens, the state power falls, but those elements, like all those rich people who owned all the money, who captured that state, are not going to go away. They're going to try to pay militias, and like nature abhors a vacuum, right? So there has to be
Yeah.
kind of that transition of power into something else that will eventually become whatever utopian state you think it will be. Like Michael
So I mean,
Parenti.
that's like vaguely Marxist Leninist thinking or whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I
Got to build your parallel
I would
institutions.
Right, yeah,
I,
dual power.
yeah, but so
I mean, here's
but
my
I think
problem.
maybe we're just coming at it from different angles, right? Because you said you care about like getting rid of all hierarchies on the subcontinent. I think that was you verbatim, right? And I I want to get rid of all fucking hierarchies in the world, right? Like I'm a
Likewise.
fucking anarchist. I'd love that,
Yeah,
right?
anarchata.
But
Abolish
I'm
gender, abolish fucking everything.
yeah, but like at the same time, I'm also like a real fucking human being existing in the real world, and I want to be able to like make practical and realistic differences to the people that I exist with, like just as I am. And it's real nice to be like steeped in the theory and going, yeah, like this is how we dissolve a government. This is how
Wolf's
we
internet
build.
crashed. Sorry.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
No, I can hear her.
No,
No,
Wolf's did.
Wolf.
Oh shit.
The
Yeah,
other
yeah.
Wolf, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's two. Okay, sorry.
Which is annoying because I was talking to. But essentially, yeah. Oh, he's talking again.
I died. Damn.
Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Bro, everyone cut me off, bro. I see how it is. The black man can't speak.
This colorist in here, nah. I'm not gonna let you speak. I'm picking on you for being lighter than me.
He's back in the waiting thing.
I'm denying your blackness right now.
See how it is.
Yeah,
Denying me my black card.
He's back in. That's...
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Wolf?
Sorry, Bangalore internet is shit.
It's all good. So, what I was saying is, right, you care about abolishing all these hierarchies, right? And I'm totally there with you, right? But that seems to me currently to be like a little bit of a pipe dream. And you can talk about the theory of like how what happens when a state dissolves and how you transition into a stateless, classless, moneyless society and all of that. And that's all super, super interesting, right? But when you're talking about making material differences on the ground, this is why I say you should care about what's going on in other places too, because they're all connected. Right. It's like who are the immediate reactionary forces that you have to combat in order to be able to improve the material conditions of the people around you and defend them from fascist incursions, attacks, whatever, and try and move towards some kind of liberation for your particular marginalized group. I think you said that you were part of some racial minority in the Indian subcontinent, right? So, yeah. And for that, I think it is really, really important to understand things like how Modi interacts with Russia, for example, right? And how Dugin's philosophy influences, like, for example, the Hindu nationalists and so on, right? the way they're all
Yeah.
fucking like Kali Yuga nut jobs. Okay, right? You need to understand how that interacts. Like because the internet has made everything so fucking global. Okay, Indian nationalists are interfacing and talking to the fucking like Kali Yuga white supremacists from the United States and Russia and so on. So I think you have to understand how these ideologies are evolving, what kind of tactics they're pushing. If you look at, like, for example, the way that the neo-Nazi terror movement has evolved from using hierarchical structures to using more decentralized kind of individual terrorist cells working in tandem, right? This is important shit for you to know because those Hindu nationalists are going to be picking up the same kind of vibes. They're going to be moving along the same kind of lines. And I think seeing what happens in other countries, especially when there's a cultural exchange, allows you to prepare for what is likely to start happening in your country.
So you mentioned white supremacists, right?
Yeah.
I know this is like a very controversial take, but it's also true. And white supremacy literally came from India, from the pre-Vedic eras. I'm not joking. Like lighter skin supremacy did come from India, which was exported to European neighbors. Then it circled around. That's exactly how white supremacy came to be, right? Because here's the thing, right? I'm against Hindu nationalists, of course. I'm against Islamic fundamentalists, of course, in India. I'm against all sorts of religious fundamentalists because they don't care about minorities or they don't care about equality or they don't care about anything in the country except for gaining power and oppressing people, right? And statelessness, here's the thing, right? I kind of do care about what's happening to the people of Ukraine, whereas not the state of Ukraine. I, I just don't think it's okay for me to give more attention to a state rather than its people, right? Because again, a lot of people they forget about the people of a nation than a nation itself, right? And that's what a lot of
Yeah,
people do.
at no point have I said that you need to really care about like Ukraine's statecraft, right? I've been talking about
Right.
the tactics, the ideologies of the various groups involved, and why you should care specifically about Duginist Eurasianism, basically because of its
Here's the
because of
thing:
its like
Russian influence on India is barely. I mean, cultural influence or fascistic influence in India is barely minimum. Most Hindu nationalists they either go down the route of what Germany was in 1933 to 1945, or
yeah.
they learn from Mussolini's Italy. Right? These are the historic periods that I'm most focused on, because the very ideology of Hindutva, or a Hindu country or a Hindu theocracy is based off of these ideologies. Right? I study these ideologies because here's the thing, right? The founder of the ideology Hindutva, who is that guy?
Zelensky banned unions. I'm sorry, I didn't realize my mic was unmuted.
I'm not even sure if that's true. That's something that's floating around. I'm not 100% sure if it's been ratified. I think a bill was presented to the Ukrainian parliament. I can't tell you if it's been ratified yet.
Damn.
But yeah, sorry.
I just
Sorry, I didn't mean to
don't
cut you
trust any information out of there as a baseline
Yeah.
until you
So,
can
like-
double, triple verify.
Fog of war, yeah, all that.
So
Yeah. Okay,
you are
so what I
right to
was saying-
you are right to study those ideologies because they are
Yes.
so influential in Hindutva. But I think I think it's reasonable to say that those ideologies are not stagnant, right? They don't stop
They're not stagnant.
when Germany falls, when fascist Italy stops being fascist, right?
Yes.
They don't.
Yes.
They continue to be revived, worked on, reworked, and so on, right?
Yes.
And Western white nationalist terrorists are doing that work constantly on Telegram,
Yes.
and they interact and interface with Hindutva and Hindu nationalists, right? They share materials with each other constantly.
I have a very interesting situation, and I mean everyone in America and everyone across the world has this situation.
Uh-huh.
Fascists in LA can't really organize offline, decentralized nearly as much as they do across the rest of the country. That said, they still fucking do, but like they aren't the main thing to be worried about at all. Here it's the cop gangs, like
Oh
by
yeah,
by a
no
long
doubt.
fucking shot. And it's a weird remnant of the hierarchical stuff that still very much remains. And so like the situation a lot of people here have to figure out is how do you fight back against that without them immediately getting you got and you get arrested for like 20 years?
Yeah.
And it's like there's very little in the way of recourse for
We got
sheriff
a
gangs.
similar problem here in Baltimore with well,
Mhm.
obviously there was the Klan infiltrating the BPD because Carroll County is like the Klan headquarters for Maryland, but just that general vibe of like white supremacy is that kind of permeates is the background culture of the background radiation of American culture.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know,
And the lovely like cherry on top, right, is Villanueva, the sheriff around here, said like when he was getting in, he'd do something about it, and now he is aggressively running fucking cover for these guys, basically like disrupting the ongoing investigations into them, like actively by using his powers as sheriff,
Our
and it's like,
mayor's not.
oh, that feels awesome, man.
Yeah, our mayor's not going that far. He's a younger dude, and he was supposed to be like the hope for police reform, at least like liberal police reform. But nah, he's definitely just inflated the fuck out of their budget like everybody else does.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah, no,
sorry, go ahead.
no, full and aggressive. Like anyone listening to this, like Villanueva, flame his ass because like he's a fucking psycho. Like he's a fucking psycho in charge of the office, and he is abusing his power as maliciously as one could reasonably get away with
Sheesh.
in like liberal Los Angeles.
I think I might actually. I'm gonna head over and because they invited me to play this like knockoff Cards Against Humanity game with Jason Society and Paradigm Shift in them. So
Sweet.
That sounds like fun. Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Sorry. I hope I hope I didn't like shout anyone down too much. I guess I'm too used to the debate panels and shit.
Nah,
Right.
I feel like this conversation was super civil and like super informative, honestly, in a way that isn't typical.
Okay. Cool. Good.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
And
Yeah.
I do feel bad talking to, saying saying
Always.
stuff like that to
Always,
Wolf because you know the situation on the ground far better than I do, and obviously
It's
you should
alright,
absolutely, yeah. I just think an understanding of international issues is important, I guess. But whatever. Sorry.
I get
Okay.
where you're coming from.
It's okay.
I feel like
It's alright.
everybody is saying like I feel like yeah, kind of what Pyro were saying was like where we're getting at is like not everybody. Well, what we all agreed on is like not everybody, in terms of the masses, air quotes, needs to be super internationally minded. But us as more or less public figures, it would probably behoove us to at least be like casually aware of that kind of stuff. At the very
My thing,
least,
Yeah.
for like
my thing throughout the whole conversation is I get that when we form our organizations on the ground, we need people who understand this shit so they can disseminate.
Yeah.
But talking to Dr. K recently, talking to some of the socialist groups in my city, it's like, bruh, there seems to be trouble in the internals, like getting shit down packed first. There seems to be
Yeah.
trouble, like on the ground in like every country, getting information about how these fucking systems work. So for me, I'm just thinking about, yo, if I'm gonna talk to some nigga about international shit, first I gotta educate them on how this system fucking works 1st, and then tell them like how we deal with that internationally, and then shit like that.
Mhm.
And then I gotta explain how these fucking links work. I can't just jump in it and be like, ah, yes, see the links in the fascism work here. I gotta be like, oh,
Yeah.
nah, these niggas actually talks. Like that's where I was coming from with it.
I feel
like
that, yeah.
internationally, I don't care about like I think Wolf, the other Wolf, said it best. Like, I don't care about the state of Ukraine, just like I don't care about the state of Iraq or the state of Afghanistan. The people The people who deal with that shit, the people who aren't involved in any of the power play and shit like that, those are the people I feel for. Those are the people that, like, when they are brought up in conversation, not this conversation, but as like
Yeah,
Twitch
because I was
debate
gonna say I feel like that's
conversation
what
as-
Viv was also saying. Is I don't think Viv
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
I've always said
Oh,
that.
nah.
Like every fucking
Oh.
conflict, like I think it's fucking disgusting how we always
No.
focus on this great man bullshit.
Right.
Viv knows, like, if I
Yeah.
felt she was cutting me off unjust to say some bullshit, I would have like went off on like an anti-British tirade. Like, I was just listening to the fucking baseness for once. Like, it's not a fucking prime panel where it's like, well, no, Viv, no, you're just, blah, blah," and then it gets transformed into some dumb
this
shit.
is the
Aaron.
infrastructure I feel like we're trying to build. Because I've been talking to
Yeah.
UD about this, and you've sat in on a few of these conversations, Pyro. Where like, it's this shit. Like not even just impromptu, but like actually planned and like targeted for specific topics. Like what me and Bink, like how we've been doing like the covert racism panels and shit. Like this type of shit we need more of. We don't need
Hey.
any more. We're super good
Sorry.
on the fucking libs screaming at each other. Like you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like we're super good
you know-
on all the State Department propaganda and let's get some black people to argue with some trans people. Like we're super good on all that. There's plenty of that. We actually need
right.
actionable stuff that is informative, educational, and will give people the gems to fucking actually create material change in their own communities. Whether it's
Self-actualize,
whether it's fucking contributing to an organization or starting your own organization. Fucking do a community fridge. I mean, my next fundraiser is going to be for our Baltimore community fridge. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
anything,
Yep,
big or
read.
small. It's
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. Join
coming back-
CPUSA, read Wobblies and Zaptistas. A lot of good stuff out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump. I'm getting called to another VC.
Right.
Nice
Thanks for
talking,
coming
mate.
through, Dr. K.
Take
Anytime.
care.
Oh, yeah.
All right, coming back to Vivian's point, right? I do understand that
I think Endless wanted to go. But
Yeah,
like,
I was
you
gonna
gotta go
dip. If
play
you guys
cards.
want to keep talking, that's cool. You guys could chill here. But I think I'm gonna actually dip. But
yeah, no worries.
thanks for having me, Endless. And if you do want to
Thanks for
like
coming.
run, yeah, if you do want to run like some panels or whatever where it's like more chill and there's never going to be any Nazis, like
yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
I don't even care if it's not that chill because I like debating. I'll admit it. I like debating. I just had to leave the fucking prime space because I was like, when Nazis start coming in, I'm fucking
Right.
out.
You
You know?
can.
It's called the ass wagon.
This is the endless
gonna
cemetery
be honest.
promise. The endless cemetery guarantee. Trademark hashtag fucking whatever. There will be zero Nazis. There is a 0% chance that any Nazis will ever fucking appear on my platform. Period.
What are you gonna be talking
I
about
believe
tomorrow?
that.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be streaming for 12 hours. I'm probably gonna talk about fucking everything.
Damn. Okay.
Oh,
I might have.
oh yeah, by the way, wanted to end on a side note. Which poll debate panels are just low budget Indian news channels? Right? I'm sorry. It's just less people screaming at each other for the most part. Here an average debate is like how many people? 25 people in one panel, right? And all of them screaming at each other with a high budget visuals that might give you ADHD, right? that is an Indian news channel. This in Twitch poll debates, they are just low budget of that. Low
I want to
budget.
I want to see some memory news action. I want to see. I want to see them start hosting these panels all in the same room, so we can start
Oh my
chucking
God.
sandals at each other and getting in fist fights.
Unironically, I 100%
Low-key.
I advocate for like the United States Congress to become as aggressive, like, and vocal as like British Parliament is, because like them niggas is just in a room at each other,
Low-key.
yelling at each other. And
Right.
again, the voices are hilarious. It's like, no, sir, we cannot allow this bill. I do say, and it's like,
Right.
you're fucking.
That's what
like,
I'm saying, yo. If there was a panel where it was like Wick and like fucking like Big Papa Fascist and Sansol, like all
Nah,
in
bro,
person,
I'm not-
all
I'm
in the
not
same
even
room,
talk-
I would buy my plane ticket tomorrow.
I'm not even talking about panelists, bro.
Yeah.
I'm talking about congressmen. If we get Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell in a room together and they start screaming
Oh
at
my
each other,
God.
like, oh, I think you're a goddamn communist. Shut up, you fat. I'm gonna pay to fucking see that. I'll pay, fucking CNN or some shit to see that. I will pay that.
Watch Lindsey
Like, that
Graham
shit
just
would be-
fucking
I have
sock.
an idea.
sock.
Yes,
an
watch.
idea.
Yes, watch him fucking
No.
sock one of them motherfuckers in the face.
No, instead of Indian news channels, let's upgrade our way to Syrian or Jordanian news channels where people literally fight. People literally hit each other while they're on air.
Bro, we
All
holding
right,
in
y'all.
what's up with our puns.
All right, y'all. Thank you again for, first of all, being y'all, but second of all, actually coming through and giving me the fucking time of day. I cannot express my gratitude enough because all the shit that I've been through with this fucking Twitch poll shit in the last like 6 months, I would 1000% not still be here without y'all.
I have literally no idea what you've been through. I'm
Oh,
so
it's not
sorry.
even important. Not even important.
But knowing what I've been through, like I can imagine.
Bro, I'll just give you a hint, Viv. Here's what you do: you go to Twitter
Oh
and you
God.
hit tweets and replies, and you just scroll because
Oh,
it's
my
like
God. I'm trying so
Just-
hard to stop doing
I
that
know
shit.
everybody was watching some kind of debate you had the other day. I have no idea what the fuck it was.
Yeah, it was. That's the crazy thing is like it wasn't even a debate. Shark just said
it was
some
a debate.
I
watched
didn't.
it. By the
He brought that energy though. He brought that energy. I didn't
listen,
want a debate.
I'll give you this, right? Like you didn't come in looking for a debate, right?
Right.
But when the other nigga comes in looking for a fight and he throw the first punch and you hit back, it's a fight. Like we're not gonna be like, it wasn't a fight. It wasn't a fight because I didn't come in with that.
You got
It
me.
was a
You got
debate.
me.
It
You
was a
got me.
debate,
It was a
bro.
debate. You got me. You got me.
To be fair, he came in with like that Machiavellian Bond energy. I'm not good with civilities. Let's get to the point. I don't have any questions for you. With the fucking Sigma hat, nigga look like a goofy. I'm done. Let me stop. Let me stop.
Oh my God. But all right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Hopefully, we get to do something like this again very soon.
Yeah, anytime. Hit me up. Well, maybe not anytime.
Well, I was gonna
But,
say,
like-
yeah, your schedule is a little different than ours.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just hit me up, and if I'm around, I'll come by for sure.
For
Hit
sure.
up when Big Ben strikes 10.
Oh, shut the fuck up, young boy.
All right, chill. All right, that's funny as shit. Yes, but yes, fucking Marjorie Taylor meme got swatted, and now she's anti-Kiwi farms. Isn't that a weird fucking stopped clock moment? Look at this meme. Let me show y'all a meme. That. Let me show y'all this meme. Yo. But also, let me apologize to you, Black Yamato. Maybe I had you all wrong. You seem chill. Maybe I owe you an apology. I'm sorry, Black Yamato. But let's hop in with Paradigm and them.
Alien faces
What the fuck
telling
y'all got going
secrets.
on in here?
So listening to
okay?
our problems
What up?
and putting them in the past is just, god damn, that one's brutal.
Yeah.
Where'd Paradigm go?
That one's brutal and
okay,
real.
well, It's a Betty
just a minute
bye.
ago. You just missed one.
Oh, damn it. That's all good.
All right, gonna
I
go
would
with
try.
Dusting first.
We good.
I was having
We-
base conversation, and I don't know. There's just so everybody is streaming at once. Everybody awesome is on at the same time, and I'm trying to talk to everybody. I'm trying to make the rounds. What we got going on? I'm trying to play with y'all for a minute.
Let me
Oops,
send you the link.
Can't confirm.
I can put it in your chat. So it is that's not the link.
Hold
It would
on.
help if I
I
actually
think,
copied it.
Let me show my chat because they didn't know about Marjorie Taylor meme getting swatted. So let me play this video.
Yeah, we just found about that.
That shit
And
is
then-
geekers.
What happened? I was at. I just got off work. What's happening?
I'm not gonna say I
Marjorie
laughed.
Taylor meme got swatted.
I didn't care if somebody else may have laughed about it.
Sorry, I think my shit
I
broke.
didn't
don't know
care
if the
initially,
selection
but
went
I
through.
know there's people in my chat who will probably care. So, hang on, give me a sec, so I could definitely play this like a minute and a half.
They've got to save.
This shit is geekers.
But also the police report states something else fairly alarming, that the suspect claims that he or she is connected to this website, which is a site that actually supports cyber stalking. The suspect even gave police their username. So basically, as you pointed out, this is a suspect admitted to intending to do harm via cyber stalking. You said you fully want to, prosecute whomever did this, and I'm assuming that suspect is still at large, right?
Yes, there's an investigation underway, and there's an even investigation into whether that's really the person that did this. But isn't it concerning that such a website exists? Like, why does that even exist? That website needs to be taken down. There should be no business or any kind of service where you can target your enemy. That's absolutely absurd. And this is the type of lawlessness that Democrats want all over the country. You know, the Democrats are the party of defund the police, which has created crime that is going out of control all over the country. But it's also failure of our government and failure of our law enforcement to not take down a
Nazi on Nazi crime.
All of these types of groups need to be completely eradicated. They should not be allowed to exist. They should not be able to abuse police resources like that. And police officers, we need more police officers. We don't have enough right now. They need to be able to respond to traffic accidents as real emergencies, and to calls where they've got to save someone's life, not be part of a prank or a potential, way to kill someone.
Wait a minute. She's using this as rhetoric against trans people? Oh my God. Is she saying that trans people are doing key reforms? Oh my fucking God, dude. It took me a minute. It took me a minute. Oh my fucking God, stop it. Oh my God, dude. The internet is fucking undefeated, I swear to God. Unfucking defeated. Alright, let's play this weird ass Cards Against Humanity shit with the homies.
This thing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers, and each thing is about 6,000 by 4,000 pixels. Just because. So if I try to do what that does, it'll like load things up. That's like
my
beep,
play?
beep, 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 beep.
No, it's Redolent's play.
Oh shit, my bad.
The only thing I really have to say right now is that the internet is fucking undefeated.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's
sorry, my bad.
It's becoming
Thank
wild.
You for the follows, y'all.
Worshipping that pussy. It's a trap.
What's up, Grey Crab?
What's up, Endless?
These Marjorie Taylor Greene and Keffels.
Endless's chat is not prepared. The degeneracy has been strong.
Explaining how vaginas work. It's a trap. Have bitches with fat asses. It's a trap.
It is.
Waxing my asshole.
The cum zone.
It's a trap.
We tried to get him, but he never replied.
Rotted Ranch?
Banks.
Yeah.
Hold
also,
on.
Jason, you're muted.
Let me see what's up with him real quick. Let me go holler at him real quick.
Banks, the media, the entire system, man. It's a trap. Fear itself. It's a trap. You know, I have a love for waxing my asshole for sure.
Jesus
Not out
Christ.
of experience or anything.
You know what's funny?
It's a love-hate, you know? Ow, ow, ow.
Is I have a
that's
recent
nice.
tweet about that.
I actually discovered that really like a free amateur way to really officially wax your asshole. It takes cum, and you gotta just let it kind of dry off after
Concentration.
Oh, and then you like glue. Oh, like if you put yeah.
It's kind of like Elmer's glue, but
That takes a lot of cum. My
I feel
God.
maybe workshop
Yeah, I
that
think
one
I'll
a little
take
bit
a
more,
pass.
Selassie.
I'll just shake.
This season at
It sounds like a lot of
Samuel
prep
Beckett's
work.
classic
It's a lot of prep work. Just
existential
give me the
play,
hot wax.
Waiting for.
He just lights a semen on fire.
Thank you, Ryan Madsen.
What are we waiting for?
Oh my god! Sorry, I was listening to like cum waxed
Samuel
asshole
Beckett.
bleaching shit.
So existential. Waiting for. Okay, so it's waiting for blank.
I'm gonna ask for this young endless in
Whose
here.
cards are? What up?
Yo.
What up? What up? Yeah, you to play now, and I can. God. Oh, where do I want to go with this?
Full sender.
I'm saving that one for a later date.
What the fuck is this? I click on Twitter real quick. You see what the fuck? You see what's trending right now?
Bleached assholes, waxed assholes with cum.
It depends.
Throwing darts. I don't know.
Everyone's trending is based on what they like look at. So, are you about to self-report?
It's not what the fuck I look at.
What's trending?
OnlyFans, 27% off.
What the fuck is this? What is this? What?
Ricky McForehead, is that what you're talking about?
40. You say forehead McForehead?
Is this a ball joke, guys?
Ricky
Fuck you. I'm
McForehead.
out. Fuck.
Oh, that. Oh, yeah, the Matt Gates shit. That was trending on my Twitter.
Is
a
it the
brick
Matt
ago.
Gates shit? Okay, wait, hold up.
Okay, because I don't have that on mine.
Matt
I have
this.
row your vote.
Oh, God.
And streamer girl.
Self-report.
Hashtag streamer girl.
You've been buying that bath.
Why is that trending?
Slurping
Oh,
that
don't
bath
click
water?
that tag.
Yeah, I'm slurping on that bath water. That shit crazy.
Yeah, that's what these are. Jesus!
Yeah, it's
I
all.
tried to grow a full head of hair off camera. It didn't work, so I'm back. Whatever.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Now you're just forehead McForehead.
Is rapey seven head over here.
Matt Gates.
Yeah. Dude, I'm so fucking surprised that he hasn't been like sent to prison at this point.
Yeah, I feel like it's coming, right? Like it seems like people know about it. Like
Well,
Trump's
he
Trump's
was-
like, I endorse you. I don't endorse you, but like his best rapey bro is like, I'm saving my ass to tell on you, and everyone seems to know that. Like, what's up? Like, does he have that much buying power with like daddy's political, capital?
We're about to find out.
We shall see.
I just saw that the fucking hat meme ended up on my tweet.
Oh,
Also, I hope Paradigm recorded that just for that. Yeah, when I saw that, I was just like, because I don't think I even follow that person, or know them. Like, how did they find me? How did they find me just to say something that racist?
The racist will find you no matter where you are. If you are black or black adjacent and online, the racist will find you.
I know, that's why I didn't use it. Because I was like, oh, that's not going to be a good one. Oh, someone's going to have to read it because it's Styles.
This season at Steppenwolf Samuel Beckett's classic existential play, Waiting for Leprosy. Waiting for Saying I Love You. Waiting for My Abusive Boyfriend Who Really Isn't So Bad Once You Get to Know Him.
Oh, that one hurt me. God damn.
Waiting for Shut Up So I Can Watch the Game. Waiting for Some Goddamn Peace and Quiet.
I would read that one.
Waiting for Seppuku.
Jesus. There's 3 cards here that are in a pretty fucked up order.
Styles, What are you picking? Yeah, that one.
was pretty good.
That one was a little
Yeah.
close.
Oof.
That one hit. That one slapped. Fun
I
tip.
was like, fuck.
When your man asks you to go down on him, try surprising him with blank instead.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Damn it, I'm the card czar. I really wanted to partake in this round. Fuck.
Oh man.
I'm glad we're actually getting good black cards this time, because
For educational purposes.
the last time we played, we kept getting the same cards like 50 times, and it was like a dumb card too. Do I want to? Yeah, it might as well.
Man, that
Oh,
yawn
nah.
just crushed me. I'm
Allura, that's
This
like
one's
same
definitely a
deal for me.
throwaway.
Like,
I have like a bunch of throwaways.
it's funny, but like it's also.
I just want to say I
ruins
really
that.
wanted to use
As funny
Meryl
as it
Streep
is,
here.
They're still on code. They still have the same goals.
Don't we
you know what
all?
I mean? And that's like.
Yo, did y'all see that Andrew Tate talked to
reminder.
Tucker Carlson?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Why does Tucker Carlson keep setting himself up like this?
Well, because he's a dumb fuck.
Why is Tucker Carlson?
Right, like Matt
Right.
Gates.
Heck is
Matt
goaded.
Gates, fucking, he set himself up with the Matt Gates interview. Now he's doing the Andrew Tate interview. It's only a matter of time. He's ready to get Me Too'd. Like that's a given at this point.
I've got Tucker Carlson talking to Matt Gates in one of the TVs above my bar.
I told him, like, I'm gonna have to start like bingo cards.
It's a little small. I gotta blow it up.
I can. Oh, that one, the second one from the right. I see it.
Yeah,
That's wild.
I paid a guy $5 on Fiverr to like, hey, draw this image, and he was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go." All right. Oh, I'm supposed to read these. Okay, let's see. What do we got here?
And you only, after you read the whole thing, only read the last two words, and then the blank.
Are you woman-splaining Cards Against Humanity?
No, no. Listen. D read the whole. D tried to read the whole card for every card, and I don't do
Like
reading
2
the whole.
times.
I just don't stand for reading the whole card for every card.
I will
Reading
not.
is
I will
hard.
not stand for it. Okay. All right.
And that's why I'm sitting.
Okay. Let's see if we can do this. Let me try. Let me just try something. Just like bear with me. Ready?
Okay.
Fun tip: when your man asks you to go down on him, try surprising him with
Smallpox blankets.
instead. Nah, it takes too long. Fuck that shit. Okay. All right, here we go. Try surprising him with however much weed $20 can buy instead. Okay. All right. Updated market price. Yeah, there we go.
Market price.
This is like the weed CoffeeZilla stream. Like, hey guys, like this guy gave $20, but then he pulled out at the last second and left all of his buddies in the room, just like fucking stranded. Here we go. I'm gonna recap. Sorry. Fun tip: when your man, I'm gonna fuck your woman's planning. Fun tip: when your man asks you to go down on him, try surprising him with soup that is too hot instead. Ouch.
I don't know about that.
Pour it on my dick. Just pour it on my dick.
Just pour it.
Try surprising him with women in yogurt commercials. Okay.
They do be going, ah.
We've been married for 40 years. I need something.
Try surprising him with a supermassive black hole instead.
It does suck.
Is it a waxed supermassive black hole?
I don't think cum
I like
reaches
my
that far.
supermassive black holes. Just fucking, just.
No,
ruby
they
red
just
star
suck the
fruits,
hair
nothing else.
right out.
Yeah. Just we find like the James Webb Telescope finds like a hairy asshole black hole. Just a
Can you
distant
imagine
galaxy,
looking
and they're
through
like,
your
"What is
telescope
happening with that?"
and
you're like,
seeing
you're
an asshole and your neighbor's like squatting in front of your fucking telescope?
We might be in a giant glass jar of like owned by
Oh
giants.
my God.
There's a giant black hole with just hair coming out of it. Like we can't explain. All right, sorry. Fun tip: when your man
It looks
asks you to
like
go down on
pubes.
him, try surprising him with expecting a burp and
Swinging out
vomiting
like
on the
times.
floor instead.
Man,
Wow.
that black
okay.
hole just winked at me.
Just James Webb. The James Webb telescope just breaks because it's just like a hairy asshole, super massive black hole. It's just like the lens cracks.
Oh my.
Yeah, he's just scared to admit that he got his ass kicked by a woman once.
Who dat?
Andrew Tate.
God, did you see that video with him with like he pulled out like a lame looking sword?
Oh, you also have to click confirm too when you click the card.
Oh, am I supposed to confirm something?
Yeah, you're the cards are.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, guys. The computer shit. Like, yeah. Okay.
I swear to God, I could have sworn I saw a video someone shared of Andrew Tate, like, straight up, like, strip pole dancing. Like, I swear to God, it looked like him. I don't know. And this dude's smoking
As
cigars
a job
and shit.
or
Like in his living room or some shit. I don't know. Like this dude's puffing on cigars. It's just like try mine.
the machete video.
Whoever's about to win this, just let it know. You just reminded me of something that happened about 22 years ago in my life. So anecdotal victory for you. Here you go.
Yes, I knew someone was gonna relate to that.
Yeah, that's about 22 years for me too.
Because I know I've had guy friends that with stories of girls throwing up on them, and I was like, that's the card.
Night my college girlfriend met my parents. Spaghetti dinner. 2
Oh,
hours later,
no.
spaghetti dinner all over the dick and the bed. Whoops, sorry.
The first night.
Drunk gagging, just blah. And it's an old house in Vermont where like you can literally hear like dad snoring through the pipes in the house, you know? So you hear like just like
like a Murloc.
You're like,
what did I just
you
come
hear
back
like a
with?
door open, you just hear is she okay? Yep, just a little sick, little food poisoning maybe. Anyone else get that? No, weird. Okay, bye. Don't come down here. Bye.
So if you click on, if you'll see in the chat on the game where I won, if you click the permalink, it shows what card you picked. This is also good if you want to take screenshots, because I do take screenshots when I have good ones. But he picked my card because it brought back a memory for him. And that was his memory.
Speaking of that memory, you're gonna love my card.
I knew every dude was going to have his fucking story of someone throwing up.
Not I.
You're like 18 years old. You get a little excited. You just put a little bit of pressure, and things can happen on a full stomach. That's all I'm saying.
I'm an
They're
incel.
like-
What is sex? I don't even know what sex is.
You're not an incel. You're a
When a man-
wincel.
It'll send you to hell. Don't do
when
it.
a man and a man, or a man and a woman, or a woman and a man, and a woman and a man, and a man and a man, or when someone on the 32, wherever we are on the thing, when multiple human organisms are in love,
But not animals.
over the age of 18, Matt Gates, come on, keep up. There's a moment of just, hairy or wax consensual genitalia.
Oh my God.
Just knocking boots. Just knocking boots.
This old boot
sounds
knocking.
Sounds
TLDR, knocking boots.
Oh,
All right, I'm the card czar. What do I do?
Yep.
Oh,
You-
you're waiting. Sorry, I my screen just like reset.
Oh, no,
sorry, one sec.
I don't do anything. Okay, sorry.
You don't do anything.
They'll turn around for you.
5 more seconds. Hold on.
Yeah. And then
I was worried I
You-
was supposed to do something because I just went to grab something to drink.
no. This is when you get exposed to the most fucked up things of the fucked up side of mankind.
There's nothing funny with my cards. There's like 3 where you're like, that's like politically, like in the moment right now, and it's just not funny, and I just don't want to go that turn. So I'm gonna go with a dumb, shitty, stupid thing.
Oh, I usually go for like the worst possible, like the most fucked up card is what
There's
I
like
pick.
a reproductive rights card in my thing. It's just like, ugh. It's not funny.
Me too, but I have.
It depends on which card you use it on. Because I'll laugh my ass off. Ooh, that is.
Thanks for the Follow
Unbelievably
Greatcraft.
soft carpet.
Oh,
But as you got to read these out endless.
I mean, you know, helps minimize the rug burn.
Oh, I was thinking. Oh, okay. I was thinking like just like real soft pubes.
Oh no, I was thinking like a shag carpet.
I just read the ones
Yeah,
that
that's kind of where I
the
was at
white
with
cards played this round. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So what's a girl's best friend? We have unbelievably soft carpet. We have smegma. I don't think girls are too into that.
I mean, not a lot of them.
Not yeah. I would say there's definitely a non-zero percentage of women who would probably be, or excuse me, girls who'd be into smegma. But that said, I would have to say that the majority of girls probably are not.
Small data sample. You need. You know. We need.
Yeah, sample
says
size.
who? You know. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Of tearing that ass up like wrapping paper on Christmas morning.
True.
We have switching to Geico. We have casual dismissiveness. And we have spaghetti again.
Jeez, already?
No.
Is that a callback? Is that a callback?
We just went full circle. That's what you said to Redolent. No, that's what he said to her. He went,
Spaghetti
again?
Jody, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Had to happen.
Oh my god!
Triggered that gag reflex.
We'll go with spaghetti on that one.
Yes!
Hey, catching up. Let's go.
Oh my god! Let's fucking go.
So Greatcraft had been losing, has been like in before like you jumped in.
Oh my god.
He'd not won any, and I was like, Greatcraft, you got to choose like the most fucked up ones. He goes, I thought I was, and the sheer like.
It was definitely very, very sad.
I'm looking for like a word, and the word just ran away. Hopelessness. The sheer hopelessness in his voice was just like, one day, buddy. You'll make it one day, buddy. You gotta play to the person. That's how you win the game. Is you play to the person.
Yeah, every time we
Oh,
used
God.
to do this pre-pandemic, before we had kids, like we have like our big loft that like people would congregate in downtown LA. Like we'd play this all the fucking time. I had like every expansion, and you would be like, "Man, I'm putting some like fucking witticism bombs out there. This is some funny shit." We came up with. You were always like, "This is the unfunniest fucking thing," and people would be like, "That's." Yep, give the unfunny person all the points, and we were like, "Is that the point? Is this like Chinese checkers we're trying to lose on purpose, like make the unfunny thing?" Like it just became like a bizarre.
No, I like to, or the people that would like make it not make sense, and you're like, no, make it
Not
funny.
making sense is fine sometimes, but like if it's funny, like yeah, like absurdist humor, but like literally just like throwing out the dumbest thing, people would be like, "That's hilarious! Oh, that's that person's gonna win that one," or they'd be like, "Oh my god, that is so Kyle, this is probably your card. I'm voting for you," and you're like, "God, this is the dumbest fucking like I hate this game."
No, so we did pick certain categories for this one, but the clip that I just posted is amazing. It's Redolent's explanation of baby making, and it's magic that Rance clipped.
Yeah, clip me. That's that TikTok like currency.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Contribute to the TikTok currency model.
Let's go.
The New World Order.
Oh man, this one. Jesus.
Can you
Christ,
imagine
this cuts.
if like? Well, actually, you do have to imagine the people on TikTok right now being dumbasses. Same people that's going to be like running shit eventually, and it's just like
A TikToker will be president one day.
But maybe that's how we finally get rid of money, which is fake. Money is just a thing we made up, and some TikToker will be like, "Guys, you know what? We're just gonna go by your followers. You got 10 followers, cool. You got $10 in your pocket. Here you go. Like, hey yo. And that's how we rise above.
Hey yo.
Can you imagine trading in TikToks?
Oh my god.
Dude, I'll give you
please, let's
500
not ever get to
followers.
that
And your
point.
followers are like getting traded to someone else. You just pick your shittiest 500 followers. And the
Yeah.
algorithm's like, these 500 people suck. You can get rid of them. They're like, what?
It's
Yeah.
peak
I was with you from the
capitalism.
beginning. You're
literally
like, you're trash to
trading
me. Get out of
followers
here.
for
I need a
fucking-
sandwich.
Parasocial economy.
Bologna sandwich, 500 followers. Fuck you.
You're like, shit. I gotta go show my ass. I gotta go start a controversy real quick. Hold on.
We're all just doing OnlyFans accounts now. We're all just like, my OBS has like a direct camera to my asshole while I'm doing a cum wax job. I'm just like, yep, here it is. Camera over here, my face, bleached asshole over on this side.
Oh my god.
I'm just like I'm just working like 3 at the time. I'm just like, here we go, guys.
Unless
I'm
you
getting my
gotta
asshole
play a
bleached. Blah
card.
blah blah. I need to go to the subway and get a fucking
What is war good
sloppy
for?
Joe.
I'm sure you can tell us.
What the fuck? Oh my
That is I like those, like, that pondering. I like that pondering of trading followers for, like, actual things. The bartering system.
Oh my god.
That's a fucking crazy ass bartering system.
All right. So what is war good for? All the dudes I've fucked. I get. They've all been white, so I guess it is good for them. My fat daughter.
Wow.
I guess if you send her. The systemic disenfranchisement of black voters.
That is, it is absolutely
It is good for
that.
that.
Way too
Absolutely
true.
good for that.
Mm-hmm.
It was not good for Barack Obama.
Obama.
It is good for that.
Yeah.
Shit.
How does Cards Against Humanity not throw in Barack's middle name just for extra potential lulls?
You know.
God, I don't know it.
Even just like an H in like bunny ear quotes? you
Okay,
know?
this technically is this. That's my only reasoning for not picking that one. But God, they were both like.
Wow, just leaving the disenfranchisement of black voters out again. We don't
But
care about
is
it
that-
again.
But is that not caring about the basic rights of humans?
So what are you
now
saying?
I'm
You
the
saying
cards are.
Are you
Oh, how
saying
the tables have
all
turned.
people? Are you saying like all lives matter?
Oh
I'm just
my
kidding. I'm
god.
just kidding. I'm kidding.
Am I reading what I think I'm reading? Endless.
Sorry. I apologize.
What's that? What happened?
In your chat.
Oh, of course. Yo.
How are you gonna call someone Blittler?
This is the one that someone should have held on to Smegma. The Smegma card. This was your round. You blew it. You blew it early. You wasted a good Smegma card.
Before we get into this conversation, Ellen, I got a question for you. Are you familiar with the Principality of Sagandis? Suck on these nuts.
Oh my god, and the fucking beat just dropped on my Nightcore song right after that.
I'm not even gonna
Like-
ban you. I'm just gonna time you out forever.
Yeah. That was just like, that's just lazy.
Yeah, there's your 5 minutes
Blittler.
of fame. There's your 5 minutes of fame, bud.
Like, Clitler is funnier.
Go talk to Cherry or somebody who actually wants to talk to you.
Or Stardust.
Yeah. Go
I hear you love her.
Yeah, go poach viewers from them. You'll gain none here, friend. Stay black.
Oh, by the way, Endless,
I like the
really,
cut of your
I really
jib,
feel
sir.
like
That
I really feel like I need to have a deep, serious conversation with you about your racism. You know, and all.
Yeah, we hear you're like the most racist person on the planet.
Yeah. Only if you, I swear to God, if anyone here is gonna have sex with anyone, even one hexadecimal character value lighter or darker than themselves, we will have serious problems. I can't have it. I cannot have it.
dude, I gotta use my Stream Deck color picker to like make sure we got.
You
Like,
gotta
but I'm
use
like,
you gotta use the
I mean, look at
eyedropper
this
tool. You gotta use the
right. Look at
eyedropper tool.
look at this color, and then look at this shit. I got a spectrum here. You know.
So you're saying if I tan,
yeah,
enough.
I was out in the sun a little
That
bit
counts.
today. I got
That
a little,
counts. That counts. Alora. Good eye on the chat because I definitely was not paying attention to the chat.
yeah, I looked over because you're up what I have right now from when we were waiting, and I just looked over. I was like, did he?
I wonder if he's
Did he
ban-evading
good?
on that account too, and not just on Twitter.
Yeah, how are you?
That guy, fucking everywhere I've seen that guy, he's just such a fucking douchebag. I'm sorry.
He's so
wait. I missed it. What's the name so I can just ban them right now? Like, what's that?
Douchebag.
I'll copy and paste it.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you're in Jason's chat right now, so it's that.
100%.
And
yeah,
Jesus
we'll go
Christ,
ahead
I wasn't
and
expecting that. My God.
Ban
Like,
runners
We'll just ban him here too. Fuck
We'll
it.
ban that. Yep. Don't come around here with that bullshit.
Shout out to Ban Runner.
Oh.
Oh, but thank you for the follow, Styles M4. And thank you for playing.
Hell yeah. I
Hell
might
yeah.
actually bug out in a minute here because I still got to do this 12-hour stream for my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
We got to be the piece of it.
Hell
What's
yeah.
the
We were the
what's
comedic
actual
relief.
date?
Hell yeah. Oh, it's today, like right now, August 25th.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my lady's was the 22nd. She's out with her nurse friends getting drunk because they're like, oh, we're all off. Let's go.
Oh yeah, Leo season. Well, it's Virgo season now. Gang.
Cusp.
I got 2 months.
Shit.
Real cusp vibes. Hell yeah.
We're missing one.
R.I.P. Bozo, annoying debate lords. Yeah,
Oh.
he can go fucking argue with Wick or somebody.
Yeah.
Thanks y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for. Hopefully I see y'all later today. I'm doing the stream. I'm gonna be streaming from noon to midnight. So pull up. I'm gonna be fucking playing Tetris, fucking talking, doing whatever. So if you want to come hang out.
You
Oh,
on
are
Twitch
you?
or YouTube?
You're going to sleep, or you're doing
Yeah.
24.
Nah, I'm doing a 12er. I can't.
Okay,
do 24.
so you're going to sleep. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
about to go
Oh,
to sleep.
for sure, stopping by.
Hell yeah.
Twitch
Yeah.
or YouTube?
I'm on Twitch, Endless Cemetery on Twitch, but I'm also on YouTube too with the same name. So
Okay.
hell yeah, I appreciate you.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
All right, y'all.
We'll play your
Have a
card
good night /
before you leave.
Play my card.
I will
before leave?
definitely stop by tomorrow, Endless, and say what's up
Hell
and
yeah,
hang out for a bit.
Come by Friday, man.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Friday. What time Friday?
I think I'm gonna be starting at around 7:30.
Okay. If you go, I'll hop on. If I get home by like 8:39, I'll hop on with you. But I usually don't get home until like 7:30, 8 o'clock. So.
Gotcha. Cool.
Let's see. Stay found that. Small doses. Okay. Oh.
A chatter says, "Dude in the helmet looks hilarious."
Is this a helmet?
You should see his friend.
I played my card. If I log out, will unplay my card?
No.
A study published in Nature this week found that
But you may want to hear this one
terrorism
read out.
is good for you in small doses. A study published in Nature this week found that having sex for the first time is good for you in small doses.
That's true.
Yeah, you could do that more than once.
Nature this week found that sperm whales is good for you in small doses. Wow, that's a whole lot of sperm whales.
It takes a turn.
Small dose.
Nature this week found that preteens is good for you in
We're taking a turn.
Epstein?
We're taking a turn here.
I figured I'd pick the
Fucking
Twitch.
based.
I'd pick the Twitch poll card. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mr. Girl enters the chat.
A study published in Nature this week found that the KKK is good for you in small doses. Oh my god, these are fucking horrible.
These are wild, yo. These are
A study
wild.
published in Nature this week found that ethnic cleansing is good for you in small doses.
Small doses.
Jesus Christ.
Sensing a
These are
pattern
so
here.
fucking depraved.
Erlen, they said that you
Radical Islamic
should
terrorism
hotbox that
for
spaceship.
the win.
Not ethnic cleansing. Come on.
The wrong people in everyone's chat are like nodding and going, finally, someone said it. There it is. There it is. I was thinking it, and he put it out there. And
I knew Endless was a fucking reverse racist.
Endless is actually the leader of the KKK. You heard it here, folks.
Have you ever seen me in the
Clayton
same room as the
Bigsby?
leader of the KKK?
he's like that David Chappelle character, but he can see. He knows what he's doing. He's like straight up, just like, yeah, I'm fucking selling out.
Oh my
Fuck
God.
you. That's also called Candace Owens. You're Candace Owens thing, but you're
gender
All right,
swap.
never
Candace
one to be
Owens.
never one to be behind on the times. Alternative medicine is now embracing the curative powers of blank.
All right, y'all. Have a good night.
All right,
You have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Likewise. All right, y'all. Thanks for rocking with me. I hope I see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna be live from noon to midnight. Let's raid into Rotted Ranch.